Quick touch, double check the steering wheel. Control.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Pressure can be high when it comes to super speedway racing. And tonight, some of the top drivers in the Mystic Racing League are looked to be put under pressure. As tonight, we head to EchoPark Speedway. Tonight, the Slim Chickens Cup Series. We firing off from Hotlanta, Hampton, Georgia, for tonight's coverage of the Rob's Custom Designs 351 here on VSPEED. Welcome to tonight's coverage as we get set to go roaring for 228 laps here from Hotlanta. I'm Justin Prince. Sigur Bakshi is spilling in for tonight's coverage. As I will say this, it's going to be challenging in multiple different fronts for some competitors. In some cases, your equipment may fail. I just had 3 different audio devices fail in the span of 30 minutes, for example. But tonight, it's about trying to not only limit any troubles here, Sigur, but it's also going to be about, can you keep up front based on the track examples we've seen as of late here?
Absolutely. As you know, I'm getting more and more familiar with oval speedways, and EchoPark research gives me a new foundation of understanding of what it means to go oval racing, because this is an intermediate track like none other. This 1.5 mile oval has 28 degrees of banking, so it has some super speedway style intensity, but it is a mile and a half super speedway.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a challenge and a half for the competitors tonight. They're getting ready to go here tonight. Zachary King, again, up in the front with the super speedway pole. Gavin Hinson, Christian Barnes, John Ullman, Charles Robertson, Coyden Gooder in the top 6. Holston, former eNASCAR driver Ashton Crowder, Cochran, and Kelly are your top 10. We're happy to have you with us on VSPEED. We're underway from EchoPark.
Rob's Custom Wraps car, number 39, driven by Gavin Hinson in P2. Looking for Zachary King's position up in front, trying to find some momentum in the middle lane, but not finding the commitment just yet. Stays down low and nice and tight to the number 51, looks to the inside line, but can't find the daylight just yet. Gavin Hinson is wanting to mount an attack by the looks of things.
Trying to close the file here, and keep in mind when it comes to tonight, it's going to be the simple matter in some cases on can we get ourselves sorted to the front. If you watched last night with Caswell Glass Company Series Racing, it was so difficult just to get the outside line to work, and that's what we emphasized right off the top. That's kind of the expectation here again. 40 is stage 1, but 125 for stage 2. Not expecting green flag stops the first one, but the second one for sure. So, it's one of those types of races, is what I'm saying, Sigur, that you need to be up in front, keep it up in front, while making sure you don't destroy those tires, because these cars will have 5 sets available in the pits, but this track burns the tires up like old Atlanta.
It's definitely a strategy call for the drivers, I must say. It's tricky to decipher what the right call is gonna be for the field, but the drivers are gonna know best. As you indicated, we have some great drivers throughout the grid, just absolutely phenomenal I-rating, and Colin Bollinger being one of those drivers. The number 53 sitting back in 17th position right now. He's going to want to charge his way through the field also in this battle pack. But right now, everybody is just jostling for positions and taking whatever is given.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, for those who tuned in last night, Ashton Crowder in the 44 from last night and tonight ended up coming away with the victory with just 2 laps led. Now, of course, he came away with a big victory in the Charlotte 600, a part of his series debut. Funnily enough, you know how he joined these races? He watched the YouTube broadcast for series from the MRL, said, I like the racing, I like the action, I want to be a part of it.
That's great to see, and it's just as easy as that. You see some good racing online that you want to be a part of, and you just find them, and you get to be a part of an amazing league. That doesn't mean you get to take advantage of a good situation at all. You don't get to cheat your way to the company of good men, but at the end of the day, these good men treat each other with dignity and respect. This is a long-standing league, Justin, and the reputation precedes themselves everywhere you go. You hear about Mystic Racing, and you hear about Gavin Hinson giving the bump to Zachary King out in the lead right now. This is just great stuff. You don't get treated to green and clean racing very often, Justin, but with the Mystic guys, it's just the nature of the beast, apparently.
It is, and we've seen throughout the season so far, a lot of these drivers just continuously have a lot of back and forth. Hinson's been one of the more consistent, I think you can argue, in multiple of these series. But it's been made clear with the way he's raced the past few days, he wants to be the person working. What is right behind him here? Last night, he and Christian Barnes were bumper to bumper a vast majority of the day. And now, they are working 2-3 in the pack.
Christian Barnes will deliver some dominoes tonight in that number 27. Stop making me hungry there, Christian. I'm feeling it already. It's dinner time and the dogs are barking. But Rob's Custom Wraps 351 underway right now. 228 punishing laps to take us 351.12 miles for the full race distance, and only that 70% fuel load for the drivers to have to manage as far as the strategy is concerned.
Obviously, those are like 10. Yeah, these racing laps are going to be pretty quick with the EchoPark. Bollinger, we know he's got winning ability when it comes to this series. He's one of those line with impact. Who's in that 81 machine. One of those that wants to pick up some decent point totals here tonight, and that's the big thing. Can you get decent points?
And you know these drivers better than anybody, Justin. You know what they're capable of. Out in the chat, we have William King cheering on Zachary King and cheering on Barnes as well. But right now, look at this steep battle pack right now. It stayed too wide all through the backfield, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. These multiple lanes are just absolutely here to stay. We're not seeing it break away until the number 29. This is down in 8th position where the second lane is forming. Otherwise, it's single file all the way back.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is how some of these lines up at the top are going to fare, because that's the big thing I've noticed here. Help. The problem is no one wants to help. Lieutenant Clark was making a pure play. 29 is the first to the outside. No one really willing to test it. And the thing is, that will destroy your rears too eventually. We'll see what we had last night. People spinning off the top, and that will be absolute chaos if you aren't preserving your Goodyear Eagles here.
And the mechanical fatigue as a few drivers start traveling their way up into the barriers even on their run. It looks like that's already starting to become a challenge at lap 14 of this long stretch. I don't mean to beat the dead horse, but holy Toledo, do we have a long way to go. Adam Holston is going to be a driver that knows about this, running in 7th position, steep in this battle pack, and has nowhere left to go. The number 45 looking mean and clean tonight.
Of course, has had no consistent number tonight. He's riding the 45 for reference this evening. Ridley was in the 48 part-time. Then, of course, we see Becca Brown breaking for victories in that car. Then we see more Becca Brown. Then eventually we see a 12 car even rolled out. Trying to give Holston starts and a couple others for the team. And now, Holston trying to carry what he showcased last night. Solid super speedway acumen. He was solid here last year too at EchoPark, if memory serves right, because he also is one of those who was able to survive some of the carnage. Hasn't ran every race this season, but is doing the job he needs to stay up in front. We haven't talked about points coming into tonight, by the way, yet, as we look at some of the intervals on screen. Remember, Hayes was the points leader coming in with 4 victories. To Isaac Wilson, plus 33 is the difference. Hayes to Wilson. Bollinger, Curl, Barnes were your top 5 entering the night. Becca Brown, the name we just mentioned, entered 6th. Lewis, Cochran, Baum, Robertson were in the top 10. Your cutoff for the battle for the chase. Zachary Kane, importantly, was on it entering tonight. He is currently still your leader. And right now controlling this pack as the outside starting to get a little bit further up with Anthony Marino Jr. driving the 48 tonight.
Just absolutely great views here at EchoPark, and you can just hear the roar of these engines coming through this giant amphitheater. And the spectators watch on as the drivers continue to challenge each other coming across the stripe now. Here for the 18th time on to lap 19 we go, racing yet again. And the drivers keep on assisting each other. A little bit of bumps down there on the low ride, trying to give each other a little bit of momentum and help, and not so much there on the high groove. Their drivers there are far and few between.
Yeah, just nothing doing it. Kyle Hardy was the only driver missed to start for those Curies here tonight. We still have 27 running, but 25 in the main pack. In a couple moments or so, hold on, 3 wide. That's a bold move. Clark forced it through. I'm not sure why that was forced there, but that was not ideal for Meatball Ideal on the paint scheme for Clark.
Holy smokes, Clark was sending it in and gets a little touch there from the 93, a little jump scare even, and now loses out the momentum, the tremendous momentum that they were carrying for a long time now fades away. Has a little help from Adam Holston, the driver that we were talking about earlier from behind, getting into that well, not the slipstream, it's called the draft when we're talking about ovals. I need to shake off my road racing habits, I apologize. But tucking into that draft is ever so important at this mixed intermediate super speedway. Tucking back in, dropping that arrow from the car in front and giving them that push forward is a tremendous amount of help, whether you give them the physical push or not.
That's the big thing is, yeah, you can give some little bumps here. At Talladega and Daytona, you're absolutely on the bumper, carrying the momentum for the straightaways. That's the expectation. You can't really do that here in terms of what you were alluded to. You do that off of 2, you'll wreck somebody. Remember, Garrett Maines is a good example, where he was the leader in a pack, got basically all the air taken off his balloon off of 2 in an ERA race, and it caused a mega pileup. He was not happy and posted the full clipping, including that explanation on social media afterwards. You can't just go up to somebody's bumper and say, "Giddy up, let's go, it's Daytona." No, this track will eat you alive if you do that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's a different type of racing, I think, and the drivers are getting accustomed to that as we go down below the apron, and we're getting a little hectic here in the middle of the field, and that'll be the causation of the first caution tonight.
Happens just past halfway in the stage, and we're under yellow for the first time tonight. Let's turn into a bit of a melee for some of the drivers like David Wallace, who was someone who shuffled up in the front several times. Clayton Good was in it. There was a lot of cars on the apron, as you called and alluded to, all stacking up behind one of your top drivers in points, Isaac Wilson. How would you describe this here? Because watch the 93 in this situation. That caused an accordion effect, would you say?
Here comes that 91 in the middle. That really is the, oh man, who is the causation there? Is it the 93, the 95, or the 91? It's just kind of a blur. I'm just glad I'm not race control at this moment.
Yeah, a bit of contact and trouble spots. Harold Tucker III is your race control tonight. We have a car going backwards on pit road. David Moyer, for some reason, is going reverse on pit road with the demolished race car. Good is amongst those coming down pit road. I think Moyer's got so bad damage he can't get his pit box.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yikes.
Oh, yikes indeed.
Yeah, this is going to be... They have shortened the caution? That's a contrast to last night where they lengthened the caution, Segur.
Oh,
and
cue
we'll
the
see
Benny
what...
Hill music now. I'm so sorry to do this to you, David Moyer. But pit lane becoming alive, and I mean, with 0 fast repairs, what does this mean for the field?
I mean, get your car fixed and hope for the best.
I mean, you're driving with one arm behind your back at this point, right, Justin? You're taking minimum repairs to get back out onto the racetrack and hoping for the best, like you said, right?
Yeah. I'm curious what they're going to do here. Now they've realized they accidentally shortened the caution, and there is the extension we were expecting there. Was about to say there was some confusion, I think, popping up on the radios here, because they were going to have the field, I think, accidentally start single file there. Instead, we will get rolling with Good, Kelly, Moyer amongst those who had to go down pit road for service. Wallace is still in a tow. So we get set to get 2 to go. Now, the big thing is the reason they're doing that in supposed to be extending cautions is there is an issue with, because we are pitting down the middle of the back straightaway here at EchoPark. Sometimes in iRacing, the pit lane doesn't open until after they pass turn 3. The leaders do. So it's fair game for everybody else to make sure everyone can actually take a pit stop.
Justin, I just got to ask you, what don't you know about the platform? I mean, you know every single quirk and detail about these racers, racetracks, and everything that goes with them. It is phenomenal, the plethora of information that you retain, and knowing little details like that is just phenomenal. And you're our own personal Shay Adams, having your ear to the radio right now and letting us know what the drivers are up to. Any complaints on the radio after that mayhem?
Well, that's the big thing about having an audio issue is sometimes you lose all audio completely. So I've been listening silent for the past little bit. But to answer your question, to get you that answer in the next 30 seconds or so, there has been a little bit of chippiness in terms of the back and forth on the light-ups of the radio. So really, to say the very least, people have at least been chatting on it throughout this caution period as we get going. So, can confirm, Race Control is apologizing for the mistake. That's what they're discussing on the radio at the moment.
Copy that. Just Joshua Gillen in chat saying in the YouTube chat, yes, there is a bunch of complaining right now. Well, thank you very much for letting us know. Tasty in chat saying, let's go Holston. Adam Holston running in 5th position right now and has been a hard combatant here at the front of the pack, that's for sure.
And now people are saying, I didn't get the chance to pit, and we have a choose anyway. Vast majority of the field chose the bottom. So a bit of a chaotic moment. We're still coming up to 12 to go in a stage, by the way, and then you can pit, is the argument you can make. Well, so now that we've had a caution, a bit of chaos here, how do you try and regroup as a driver?
I want to throw the question right back at you, Justin. I mean, after everything is so chaotic for the racers, how do you feel about this? This is not usual for the Mystic standard, but it's great that the drivers are willing to adapt. And I want to give a big shout out and thanks right now to all the staff members that are the unsung heroes of the league. Yes, when things go awry, you figure out who they are and you pass blame and judgment. But at the end of the day, they're all working so hard to make this league possible. For 27 drivers, there's probably a dozen staff members behind the scene working hard to make this happen. So big kudos and hats off to Race Control, the staff members, and all the admins here at Mystic Racing.
And it's been a busy night for them as a result here already with the early caution period. So we're getting regrouped and set pretty soon. Field is ready. Green flag is out. We're back on our way. Inside line gets the jump. Outside not getting any momentum really built up with Holston leading it off with Robertson on the back bumper. But King continues to get the lead laps, coming to 11 to go this time. Look at the cut up by Marino Jr.
Bollinger in the background trying to force aggressively a 3-wide situation. The middle groove not seeming to work out well, but the high line seems to have some drive attached to it. The number 8 gets involved with the 48. The 53 loses out ground right now and slips back down, comes back down in front of the 17 for just a blink of an eye. But oh my goodness, the overlap was not there, and then it was made by the 17 with quick feet on the throttle pedal.
Yep, and all of them trying to keep things shuffled together as they all sort themselves about. Look at that teamwork starting to come into play with Cochran, with Lewis. Lewis also took part in Caswell Glass Company racing last night. Amongst those who kept pretty quiet. He's got a lot of work to get this line to work. Though right now, 188 miles an hour. They're peaking at 180. And the O'Reilly / Caswell Glass Company car last night. Cochran on the side drive and contact Lewis in the wall. Caution is out. It's the big one off of 4. At least 10 cars involved as they pile back into traffic.
Holy Toledo. That was enormous. Let's get a quick replay of what happened here.
Wow. That turned ugly pretty quickly with a lot of fast cars in it. Lewis, though, hard in the wall, had Marino Jr. on the bumper. And tempers are flaring on the radio.
And when accidents happen at 180 miles an hour, they're gonna be enormous. The fact that we've seen a few big saves, a few big catches, close calls, these are all happening at Mach 5 in a road car, basically. I mean, top speed in a GT3 car is pushing around 190, right, Justin? So we're talking about flat out in a road car around this oval. Just for comparison, there is none for road racing. This is absolutely unleashed raw horsepower, and the drivers are trying to tame it. And when these accidents happen, they're gonna be big, and accidents do happen, unfortunately.
And that in turn sees Ullman, Wingfield, Vincent, Wilson, Lewis, all significant damage. They all have to come down pit road that previous time. Bad bump is the call from race control. Anthony Marino Jr., as expected, cause a caution. He does have a race car sized dent on the front end of his race car. What did we say about that conversation on bumping into the corners? That kind of emphasized it, doesn't it?
Sure does, Justin. There's a difference between getting into that. I don't know how to describe it. It was taught to me very recently when drivers were talking about basically getting into the draft, and it's like dropping the tailgate on a pickup truck. You're not trying to exactly shove the car in front of you forward, but you're trying to help it by getting into that draft and adjusting where that air is going. As you can see right here, the 19 helping out the 9 in a perfect example. Getting close but no touching is the perfect example. And there is just such a big difference between pushing, shoving, and racing.
And still keep the lights on top of the pace car. So we're going to have about, by the time we get rolling, on about 5 laps to go in the stage. We're coming to choose next time by Holston, Crowder, Kelly, Gillen, Anderson, Maupin, White. Also joined on into the damage with the second wave of pit stops. And so, we'll find out where things go. At this point, do you take the stage points or try and go for the stage win if you're some of the drivers back here? Because we haven't really seen the top 3, at least on your track now, maneuver off the bottom.
That's a very good point, Justin. I think that falls into question of how long can they go on their fuel mileage. If they can make it to the end of the stage on the fuel mileage that they have, absolutely extend it and then set yourself up for success going in towards stage 2 at lap 125. But with pit road closing with 2 laps remaining in the stage, you know, following the real life plays, you got to make that call sooner rather than later, don't you?
I mean, if you want to win the race, yeah. And let's see if there's any variance here on the choose. A lot of people have EOLs coming up with the repairs they've had. And looks like top 3 will not vary coming up to choose. Jacob Cochran will be the first one up the top in the Delusional / C4 racing car.
Zero Fan, Sandrag Gillen, and Caleb the OG, all in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for joining us here on VSPEED. Justin Prince taking you from green to checkered flag as usual. And I'm Sagar Bakshi filling in for Morgan this week. Drivers squared up side by side. Noah's Ark formation here as we get ready to hit lap 40. I think we're going to have drivers squabble for position on this race restart, Justin.
Yep, just about ready to go for a 5-lap dash. based on the numbers given for this stage, a lengthy stage 2. Roll to the end. They're all set to go into the gears. Let's see if we have any tire spin. We've ran about 34, 35 laps on the tires, including pace laps. And the inside got a decent jump. No major tire spin, but the bump from Hinson gets the edge. Will Cochran take away third with a move to the bottom? No. Barnes fills the hole. Outside has no help.
Again, no momentum whatsoever for that top row, but all of it being given from Gavin Hinson to Zachary King right now. They're definitely working together and trying to escape the clutches of the number 27 Christian Barnes looming in the background. There is a big charge. That's Coulter Clark in the number 29. We saw him go 3 wide very early on, and now he's charging up towards P4. Can he make a move with just 3 laps left to go?
Yeah, right now Cochran attempting everything he can with big runs down the back. Look at Bollinger giving him a shove. Trying to get some teamwork maybe with the Toyotas. Reggie Kime also joining in. Down to 3 to go on the stage. First battle for the race lead all night. Cochran looking to try and rip away the lead from the 51. Could potentially clear off the corner. Looks like he'll at least get an edge, but runs out of steam with a little bit of the arrow coming in from King. Back and forth, 2 to go coming up.
That 88 is weaving more than my knitting grandma right now as it gets help from behind. It's definitely not stable on the push right now. And there comes a big move from the Coca-Cola machine. As it comes halfway across the racetrack, we stay green for now. And Zachary King has to challenge with Gavin Hinson for the lead.
Yeah, now let's see what happens on the final time around here. Fourth stage, number 1. King keeps things in control. Hinson stays on the bumper. Nobody electing to make any sudden moves except for one. Coulter Clark, caution is out. We have cards in the 1 and 2. River Hayes is involved. And your points leader is not having a good night. Reggie Kime also involved. We're under caution. That's the stage. Let's see this here. Unofficially, King gets the stage and... Wow.
Oh.
Obviously, stack up causing a bit of a shuffle in the 17th out of the hole, and the hole wasn't there. But this means Kane leads every lap in stage 1, and the Meatball Motorsports machine is all smiles. For whatever reason, he's been good when it comes to this type of racing. He mentioned already earlier, in some series, he's picked up victories, after all. In Amarillo competition in the state of Florida, he was a sweeper in terms of that action, especially with Caswell Glass Company racing. It's tonight the night he gets a win in Georgia and tries to get a Georgia sweep maybe built up.
Yeah, I mean, look at this smile. I mean, I think that says everything you need to say about the way he feels right now. He is just ear to ear right now, teeth galore, sitting behind the pace car. I mean, we've seen Zachary King race in the Mystic Racing League for how long now? And it is just great to see him finally get his just desserts. Congratulations on the stage win, Zach.
And his biggest fan will keep him cool here tonight. It's very hot out across the country and across North America right now. Make sure your favorite fans are on and pointed up at you. I just realized my biggest fan is pointing at the ceiling. That does not help bring coolness. But in all seriousness, though, first time for a lot of drivers possibly to take strategy on tires. And we know that second stage is going to be a lengthy one. At least one stop is the thought based on the lap count there. going to lap 125. So you're going to have to think about how you're going to time a pit stop here in stage 2 once you're done this service.
Now this is where the strategy plays part in the race, right? This is where the drivers get to decide what they want to do and how they want to get to the end of this race. I'm going to say it again. It's a very long 351 miles of racing here around EchoPark. The drivers are going to have to extend themselves. They're going to have to extend their machines a little bit further than they'd like to. But at the end of the night, who's going to come out victorious is going to be the driver that's going to be the most disciplined at the end of the day. The pace car sits alone on the racetrack as the field comes down pit road.
Here they all rumble. We're still at 8 p.m. in sim time. That's about the time of the Claswell Glass Company race ended up starting off, mind you. Should see 4 tires for just about everybody. We do see a couple of no tires. Lauren Vincent, Zachary King took a 12-second stop. I think might have took a 2-tire. Christian Barnes took a fuel only, can't confirm. So a few drivers did roll the dice at a track where that could be a trouble spot.
Now, again, something that you know probably better than most people, Justin. You know, since the 2021 repave and reprofiling, how has the tire wear been around EchoPark?
Well, by lap 25 last night in Caswell Glass Company, it was who is going to spin next. I almost feel like, again, it's not about the fall off that's the concern, it's the grip level.
Sure. And it's the increase of risk, I think, is what the drivers become uncomfortable with throughout the race, right? It's an uncomfortable level of risk that they have getting onto the throttle, coming out of corners, getting their exits just right. And that level of risk can lead to race-ending mistakes. And I think that's when you decide you need to come down pit road. It may not be what the rest of the field is doing, but perhaps more of a personal preference on the car. But of course, here at Atlanta, we're going to need a dance partner to tango.
And so, getting ready, Cochran, Barnes, Hunt, Hinson, Kane, Bollinger, Clark, Vincent, Kelly, Walker. Jaden Walker specifically. Once those in the top 10, race control says, can we please preserve race cars? Is kind of the message they just said. Because we've already, out of a 28 car field, gone to 20 left. It's lap 44.
Wow. Rayshon Winkfield looks to be the last car out of the race, unfortunately. A name that pops up in iRacing quite frequently. A shame to see him down and out of this one. Or is he? He is running out on track. Excuse me, the number 18 catching back up. My hopes and dreams are restored for Rayshon Winkfield. His pace car pulls in. We get ready to go, Justin.
Usually he runs the 35. Interesting enough, he's running the 18 in sim tonight. 35 still in the paint scheme, but on points, the 18. Back underway. And now the bump is on. A water force getting in control of the field. This is their goal.
Whoa, that's a little bit aggressive there. The 51 getting a love tap there from what looks like the 88 of Jacob Cochran. And the number 29, who's been fierce all race long, gets involved with the 88. And a little love tap between friends never hurt anybody.
Yeah, and this is to where, again, field trying to sort out where are they going to get a line. A little bit of check comes there on the inside. First and really only one in the main group per se is Bollinger on the top of the racetrack. Everyone else just trying to plot and plan. That's kind of the thought process here. But everything is going to be where now we might see a lot of fuel saving coming to play.
I want to get on board with Clark here and get a look at that steering wheel. You can see the narrow band in the middle there. He's weaving around the racetrack. Here he goes to the middle groove, just slips up a little bit and comes back down. He's definitely taking an alternative line to the rest of the field and gains momentum in different parts of the racetrack. Here he goes again into 1 and 2, gains a ton of ground on that number 19, but unfortunately has nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, nothing doing again, and Clark again pokes out. It's kind of now with the lights eventually going to be turning on pretty soon. Going to become the thought on what do we do, where do we go, where do we try and plot. Right now, though, they're running 29.6s, the quickest laps of the race, right this minute for our competitors. Once some of the drivers that have found a way up front with strategy, remember Vincent, elected not to take a set, the 07, riding well in the top 10.
Vincent gaining 17 on the goods so far. Has to be pretty content with the charge that he's had. Getting some love there from the number 95, Landon Kelly. Now helping himself to a dose of that low groove, forcing that 07 outside. Lauren Vincent not getting the 007 double gun treatment tonight.
Do indeed for some of the drivers as they run. Walker lost it. Up the track, bobbling around. Saves it.
Holy smokes. That all happens at nearly 150 miles an hour, even with the bob and weave there. And the driver able to recover has to have quick hands, quicker than a cat, that's for sure.
Definitely a sketchy moment there as we take a look at Kelly. One of those involved some of the incidents. And as Clark pokes around in front of him, a bit of a swoop up. Not sure what the line is going for the 29 up there, because they keep going up, down, left, right, sideways. Sartreuse. I can't tell if they want to pass, want to get to Kane to work with a teammate, or just trying to get something to go because they don't like riding.
I spotted that a little while ago, Justin, and I just can't put my finger on it, but whatever it is, it seems to be working because getting around the number 19 seemed to be the objective, and finally, the 19 of Caleb Hunt says, you know what, I'm tired of looking at you in my rearview mirror. Go ahead, bro. And here comes a push from Caleb Hunt and just giving the healthy dose right back to the 29. This is racing for sure. And Mystic keeps it clean as well.
And they all ride on and survive for the time being. All of them rumble their way forward. Robertson involved in one of the earlier contacts with the caution at the end of the last stage. Right behind Joshua Gillen and Colin Bollinger. Robertson, earlier on this season, started with a bang. It's one of the contenders and won at Daytona, part of the full distance race. Tonight, kind of been pushed around a little bit, or been one of those pushing about. Hasn't gone to victory lane since. Tappers flaring in the back. Rayshawn Winkfield may have just had an issue because the second pack just nearly had a crash with Walker again. And all I can say is Walker is now one of the last cars running. Jaden Walker lost it for a second time, so coming off of turn 4.
And the battles continue to brew here between Caleb Hunt, who trickles his way down the order. 19 into 9th position now, make that 10th position, and succumbing to the rest of the field on that low groove, and the momentum still is carried there rather than that middle or that high line. Trying to figure out if enough drivers will finally commit to it that it may rubber in, but for now on lap 57, it just ain't sticking.
Too early to tell with the tire wear potential possibilities, I think, to say the very least, but we can tell you this pack is splintering with some of the drivers like Hayes with damage, like Anderson. We haven't touched upon too much Cody Anderson in the field tonight. Still, though, look who's found the way up front. Marino Jr. from Pelony to the front. Been a good charge for him in the 48, up to 6th. Opinions on this after getting involved with a bad push earlier.
We still have a very long run to lap 125 here, but the drivers are going to keep it pushing as hard as possible tonight. Continuing on the charge is Marino's onboard charge. As we look at the rest of the field as well, it continues to lay out side by side up there for the 29 and the 27, and there goes a wrong thing. Oh my God, the Rob Custom Wraps car, but it is able to recover, and a couple of cars go down pit lane unintentionally. Think that was Jacob Cochran in the 88. It was.
And more chaos. No one pops up on the radio, and Cochran having to go down pit road. Take a lengthy roll through with a black flag. This has turned into chaos, I think, to say the very least here. Did I mention we're only on lap 60?
Where did... Is that Barnes who recovered in the 27? No. Caleb Hunt shut down to 14th position. Let's just go through the order because that jostled everybody around. Zachary King, the 5-1, up in first position right now. That remains unchanged. The 29, Coulter Clark, knitting around the racetrack. He is in second position. Christian Bonner shuffled his way up into third. Colin Bollinger into fourth. Landon Kelly in fifth. Anthony Marino Jr. in sixth. Lauren Vincent in 7, 07. John Ullman in eighth. Joshua King in ninth. Number 10 out of position. And Charles Robertson, number 17, in 10th position now.
Yep. So, all this is staying around the results of the 11th one. Don't forget about him waiting for the right time to strike, I think, tonight. But honestly, it might be game pot lava, if you will, in terms of survival here this evening to keep yourself in the main group by stage 3's end. The way things are shaping up. Right now, where you're still with the fuel mark, gonna be looking around 45-50-ish potentially on the fuel mark. 7% burn. That's a very rough estimate. Drivers in Caswell, for reference, no green flag stops for the incidents from the last race, and or we're able to make it on stages with caution flags to help stretch. So, for one of the first times this week, green flag stops may become a factor if we stay green. But up in front, new leader, Zachary King gets the help he's been waiting for because Cochran helped shuffle it.
He's looking great right now for the duo out in front. King and Clark, definitely not trying to give him the commentator's curse, but this is the best showing I've seen of Zachary King in the history of VSPEED so far. So hats off to King. Either way this one turns out, what a fantastic drive for the young man.
Fantastic drive, fantastic race. Everything fantastic. Everything's not plastic here tonight, though. But
Stop
that
it.
being said, as they all run out, they are all digital pixels. I think I killed you.
You may have, Justin. You may have. There's not even a Barbie livery on the racetrack, excuse me, or paint scheme on the racetrack, and you pulled out a Barbie reference on me. Let's take a look at Zachary King right now, the leader of the race. He's looking calm, cool, and collected. That smile on his face, well, that's shaved off for now, and it's all business now for King.
Yeah, seems communicating now with his teammate on the bumper. How comforting is that going to be?
Not too much when you have the likes of Coulter Clark just breathing down your neck. And if you've been on the radio and you've heard of Coulter Clark's moves that he's made or seen what he's been up to this race, you should be afraid of the man.
Good, and probably will be. But right now, look at the small differences Kings is giving to the bumper of the 29 to try to help him the air a little bit. Right now, laying a little bit higher in the apexes. Clark this time runs higher. Just little differences based on the handling characteristics to make sure they don't shred their tires as they all zoom their way forward. They are eventually going to reach some more packs, by the way. Next group in range, Zach White, Jaden Walker to potentially get lapped.
And when that traffic does get picked up, they'll have to shuffle in accordingly and decide how to treat them. If they are on foreign fuel, they might be a little bit faster than the guys that came in on lap 42.
Yep, and so they all march their way around simply as that. Holston, laps down, just came down pit road, so it looks like they may be thinking about your off sequence or finishing the race here in 21st. There's that traffic pack we're just talking about. Rayshon Wingfield is actually in it too to give a small correction. And honestly, it becomes the question, traffic on the bottom or traffic on the top here tonight? No, you don't have as much the oval experience, but what's your preference when you do run a super speedway?
Me? Oh my goodness, Justin. I don't run super speedways. They are too terrifying for the likes of me. I tried Daytona. I have tried going to EchoPark. It is just a different beast than road racing. It is, I dare to say it, too big of a challenge for me. And we are corrected in the YouTube chat, or excuse me, I am corrected in the chat, saying that actually Zachary King and Coulter Clark are teammates. So he won't bump him. So the drama that I was building, well, we can throw that out the window. Here comes the traffic of the number 58 by the looks of it.
Yeah, here we go. They drive on the outside. Oh, Zach White pushed up the track again. He was involved in multiple incidents last night. Got at least one for cause. This time moves out of the way, but was a little bit sketchy to 3. They'll be swallowed by the pack. This breaks up the group. Several forced on the outside.
Drivers all dip diving and dodging their way through, trying to find any way to slot in. Here's Zach White, the 77, slotting into P18. Lauren Vincent, not so lucky. The 07 into 7th position was a positive there, up into 6th for just a hair of a moment.
Yeah, and now let's see where Vincent goes inside. Makes the move, Gill in a squeeze. A little bit of a moment with White. Holston moved up the racetrack. That kind of spooks a couple different drivers here and there as they all rumble their way through. It's almost becoming a bit of a bravery thing on where you choose the lines with the way things are going here. It's broken up the pack again.
Now that we know that the trio is all going to work together to try to break away, we keep our eyes glued back here to Ashton Crowder. Number 44 has Joshua Gillen up in front, the VFW badge machine. Representing the United States Army. Or should I say, where is that car? The number 10.
It's right there.
I can't see it.
It's right there.
I don't know what you're talking about, Justin. I can't see it.
I know the numbers are black, but the car's there.
I see the black car. I see the black numbers. I don't see the car. That went right over Justin's head, and we're moving swiftly on from there. King Clark.
I got it.
It's a 1, 2, 3 punch combo tonight. And they've been pretty much leading us this entire time, Justin. Do you think any of this is bound to change anytime soon?
I don't think so until pit stops in a few laps. I think this is becoming the calm before you enter the pit road, and this pit road is a little bit chaotic in that you have to enter on the backstretch, as we know, because it's even more chaotic if you were to come off the banking here under green. So you have to keep underneath the white line you see there through 3 and 4, then get the speed limit by the yellow cone coming off of turn 4. And from there, you have to go to your pit stall. Simple as that, right? Well, it's so easy for many competitors, I think I was trying to phrase, to just push off the bottom.
Riding on board with Clark. I'd love to see one of the drivers on board coming down pit road, just get that perspective of what it's like to just slam on the brakes, get it slowed down to the pit road speed limit, and come down that grueling long lane so slow in comparison to how fast you've been going. 180 miles an hour, the top speed here, pushing that even further with a little help from behind.
Yeah, this little pack is kind of just hoping. I think it's that they get a caution, obviously, especially when you compare that with Jarvis Kinson, who's been fast tonight. We know had track position earlier. Not now, obviously. But the downside is they're running similar to the leaders. They're not losing, they're not gaining, they're not doing enough. There's not much they can do, because that's just the way EchoPark works. You lose the main pack, you're in a tough spot.
It's just the way it is. You're absolutely right. And I was wondering where Gavin Hinson ended up after that big catch that he ended up making. The number 39 trickles his way down into 12th position overall, leading this second pack of cars. Doesn't seem like he has a ton of damage right now. His last lap around into the 30.3s, 30.2 this last time around as he updates, and it's just not getting any better for Hinson though.
Right now coming up to start lap 85, by the way. And for Hinson's case, we mentioned him having speed. He's ran this season. 13th is where he is. The points coming into tonight. Only one podium finish all campaign so far. People are now asking for caution flags on the radio. We do not advocate that you wreck your competitors for a caution flag. That is the VSPEED standard of the night. But I will say, people are hoping somebody makes a mistake here. That's not the end-all be-all in strategy, but I mean, You got to plan for this to go green with the way things are shaping up. This is the longest run of the night. And Crowder is the first on the outside here. Pit stops coming up this time. They can only go up to 44. It's King, it's Clark coming in. Here we go. Can they get to the brakes in time? Barnes in it. Bollinger does not go in. Marino Jr. came in. Can't cross the white line. I think they all held it. Yes, they did. Everybody who peeled on down was able to stick underneath the line. Now can they avoid speeding? Oh, a little bit of contact on the entry. We got multiple speeding penalties. King, Cochran, speeding.
No.
King, the dominant car of the day so far, will have to serve a 40-second stop and hold. So there goes the 51's chances, and you can see the face. It says a lot. That will hand the reins of the pack over to Christian Barnes, who wins the race up pit road in this pack. Bollinger and company just came in this time. And now you can see a lot of these drivers trying to take this a little bit more careful than the other group. No speeding calls in that pack, as you see. Cody Anderson, who's been quiet all night so far, one of the open cars. He's now in, trying to ride the Dente and keep liquid libations going.
Definitely. It's good to get a quick refuel, not only of your car, but of yourself during these pit stop cycles. I know during endurance races, the Law 24 coming up this weekend on the Majors platform. And drivers are going to need to stay hydrated, fueled, and ready to go for the long endurance race. This is an endurance race unlike any other. There's no teammate to come relieve you tonight to push yourself the grueling 351 miles around Echo Park.
Yeah, eventually somebody's going to find their way to that virtual victory lane. Unfortunately, I don't think it's one of those you can drive into. But as you can see, the lights are now on at the racetrack, which means with the sun just about done setting, it's about to get interesting with the light patterns you'll see around the racetrack here at Echo Park. Christian Barnes has cycled to the front of the group, by the way, over Clark. Vincent came out third. Bollinger did cycle to the top four, who's now going to the outside. He's bringing Ashton Crowder with him. Crowder trying to find a way to hustle his car up to the point. Crowder now directing the field, saying, why are we side drafting? We'll destroy the run. And remember, he does have the experience with this package to do and make those calls.
Looking further back, Colin Bollinger in that 53, slotting in behind the number 95, but for how long will he be comfortable with that? He was on the high groove trying to get that Batmobile and Dr. Pepper badge car through and dusted, but he needs a little help from the 44 of Ashton Crowder behind to get anything really solidified. Most of the field coming in, except for Reggie Keem, not on lap 42, coming in then, and Holston on lap 69.
And so, with that in mind, with everyone finishing up service, obviously, should we go the rest of the way in the stage? Final stage. Only going to be about 100 or so laps green. So, technically speaking, a couple laps longer, it might actually be a two-stopper by less than 10 laps to go by the time you need to take a second stop here. Stage 3 is going to get interesting, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, with drivers on different strategies going into the final stage, everybody is jostled up right now. Zachary King down one lap at this point in time. the number 51. I'm not sure, but looking back on it, do you think that bump that he got from his teammate may have sent him over the pit lane speed limit?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know if it would have been enough. And I am going to double check on that to make sure, because that's the thing. When he was... The speed limit at this track, remember, is 45. I don't think it would have mattered, because here's the thing on the number to confirm what King's number was at the cone. It was a grand total of 57 miles an hour.
Ooh.
Now, trying to get down for the segment, he tried to slow down hard. That's why there was a checkup, because it's about an average you can do. Sometimes, if you're lucky and get it wound down enough you slow down, the contact only held him at 40. So, in our words, contact or not, he was getting a speeding penalty.
Right. Going 57 across the cones would be enough to get a penalty there. It's just darn unfortunate. Just think about every possible circumstance there for Zachary King, but unfortunately, like I said, he's down a lap and has to party with Jaden Walker now, the number 56, back in the pack.
Oh, car in the wall. That is Adam Holston. Holston drove it in the fence. What happened there? He was one of those who, remember, came down pit road earlier. I think he just got suction cupped to it, trying to let the leaders go.
Get a quick replay, see what happened to the 45. Yeah, just drifting away towards the high side, and then just, I think you're right, Justin, you call it as you saw it, just get sucked up into the concrete barrier and then can't escape the clutches.
Oh, the caution flag is out. We have a Zachary King is amongst those in it. And Zachary King spun out on his own into the pack. Charles Robertson got collected, a few others.
Oh.
I don't know. That's on newer tires. I don't know about that. He was bottoming out hard coming off of turn 4 with the line. He was sparking. That car just shot left and then he corrected back in the pack here. What do you say in a situation like that? Because that was your contending car for the win earlier. It's now brought on the caution and has collected a few cars. He is now 16th.
And to be honest, earlier on, the driver I was rooting for, to be honest with you, Zachary King, our stage 1 winner, unfortunately, just not having the second half of this race go his way this evening. What do you say when an incident happens like that? I mean, truly, that is just a bad incident. The car looked like it may have been overdriven a little bit, and it got a little loose on him, unable to catch, unable to correct it, and then just comes back around like a vicious beast that these things are. It's just an accident, unfortunately, and some nights they go your way, other nights they don't go your way. I hate to quote someone so corny and cheesy, but that's just the way of the road. Sometimes she goes and sometimes she don't.
And in this case, disaster strikes. And it puts us under caution, now coming up to 25 to go on the stage. Teammate, EchoPark is in second for reference. Pit stops this time by, coming up. That includes Holston, Gillen, and a few others Henson passed a car down on pit road. There is one saying that our race sponsor Robbie Adams would say here for tonight: the apron is cruel mistress. You can't go with the apron because it can gain you time here tonight. You touch that apron, it usually means disaster, though, if you're definitely losing control like we just seen. And so, Kingdom on Stoves will take the roll down pit road to fix a wounded Ideal Pest Management car.
And that car has definitely seen some better days, but it'll get repaired and back out onto the racetrack. I can only tell. One of the good things for the field right now is Gavin Henson is climbing his way back up into the top 10, serving his pit stop right now, getting his foreign fuel, and he'll get back out onto the racetrack here and now.
And so Henson rolls off and away. First takes service, in fact, second out of the lane for service, with Gillen taking fuel only. A little bit of strategy flexibility, but the tire set is going to be the interesting part. We have now got more than half the field, by the way, dealing with damage in some way, shape, or form. We only have 13 on the lead lap. We're not at halfway yet.
Wow.
Did I mention to change the topic to more positive? We're going to Pocono next week. Do you like Pocono?
Of course I like poker.
Pocono.
Yeah, that's what I said, poker.
You do know where Pocono is, right?
Justin, you're asking me if I know where Pocono is? Perhaps you need to tell the fans like Lily King, Brian Lane Fondren, or Robbie Adams where Pocono is, because you need to tell me where Pocono is, Justin Prince. Come on, man.
Well, it's in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. It is, of course, technically you could say Biloxi, Pennsylvania in terms of Google search, but most people go with Long Pond. Of course, it's in Pennsylvania in the Pocono Mountains. And it's a triangle. It's a tricky triangle. What else can you say about Pocono?
Justin, I think you've said it all. It's Pocono. It's in Pocono. It's a tricky triangle. You've enough said. Justin. Go ahead.
Yes, you go ahead.
Mystic Racing is a great place to be where if you want to come racing or if you want to have a great time. We had 27 drivers take to this grid. We've got to 20 by the looks of it, still trying to win it. Couple cars, 4 laps down. Rayshawn Winkfield sitting in pits with a meatball flag at this point. Zach White and the number 18 the number 77 in 18th position. Right now it's Christian Barnes, Anthony Moreno Jr., and Coulter Clark in the 1, 2, 3. Colin Bollinger looming around in 4th place as we go green, green, green here again as we try to get to our second stage at lap 125.
Back on our way, once again, Christian Barnes gets control of things. Bollinger doesn't have any help up front. Already hearing some drivers not happy in the communications there with the close calls. But the 27 has now led 30-plus laps here tonight. Barnes is one of those that had a good opportunity to try and battle for the win yesterday. Didn't get it, but one of those that was consistently able with Henson. We talked about the long laps. Tonight, now looking to do the same with multiple different people who have been pushers on him now. Will anyone try the outside line? Looks like everybody except for 2 are on the bottom of the racetrack. Bollinger and Landon Kelly. They'll rumble the way to the back straight away this time through. But that being said, coming up to 20 to go in the stage. Biggest movers. We haven't touched upon that tonight. Vincent's that. But plus 20. 19 for Clark. 13 for Cody Anderson and Elijah Maupin. Maupin is not in the main pack, though. 12 are still in the main group. So the lights continue to shine brightly here. It's going to get interesting, I think, for some of the others we haven't touched upon, like the Slim Chickens car, John Ullman, as well as Ashton Crowder, who, remember, was trying to help out drivers earlier. He's working with a lot of people. There's the Ullman's car for reference. Different look tonight. Going with garage beer on the hood tonight.
Oh, what a shot there as we fan out 3 wide.
A little bit of a move there, but Woman and Munsters stayed to the bottom. Zachary King of Munsters is trying the top after significant repairs. Car is looking mostly fixed. Mind you, your lucky dog race between Caleb Hunt and Zachary King. So Hunt is going to be in an interesting spot here for that lucky dog. Right now, you see the distance is about half a second between him and the 51.
Keeping my eye on the 07 of Lauren Vincent, ping-ponging his way through the field, but bouncing forward for the most part. Those 20 positions gained are not going anywhere anytime soon. The driver in the 07 is going to try to roll the dice and keep it green and clean this entire run. So far, so good, I think, for the orange machine.
Yeah, so far so solid. Oh, he gets shuffled. Crowder making him pay for leaving a line open. That's what some of the top drivers would make you do early on with EchoPark. Seeing a lane, he forces it through, and now trying to bring the 10 with him. Vincent keeping the fight going, but the 44 is up to 4th.
'07 trying to slot back in front of Gavin Henson, who's going to put up a fight with the 10 in front. Does so strongly, keeps up the pace, and continues his charge forward.
Got to be careful in the blend there. That was nearly across the lucky dog. Wakefield done. Connection issue. Possibly going to be end of his night. Vincent gets right on the bumper of the 19. And now Kane is trying to move Bollinger up the track. Bollinger saying, I don't want any of this. Moved off and right in front of the 15. Now Kane's the lead car on the outside again.
King seemingly fighting by himself right now, but here's the gaggle. We're going to keep our eye on the 56, the 95, and the 81 River Hayes, Jaden Walker, all in this pack, including that 95 of Landon Kelly. But up ahead, it's Cody Anderson and John Ullman duking it out as Ullman slips back behind the 51 of Zachary King, who's fighting like a menace to get that lap back. He knows he has to keep up with Caleb Hunt, who's just right up the road.
Just has to find the right place to charge up and pass him if he can. Say if Walker tries to make a move on King, go into that spot, and they all move to the bottom. We're coming up to 11 to go in the stage, by the way. Time's ticking away. Now Bollinger moves Hunt off the bottom, and Hunt's cushion is just 1 for the lucky dog. Looking at right now, that how things go and stand here. You see the differences pop up. King's going to go for the lucky dog as you see them right up front. Crowder trying to rip away second. Oh, that's borderline on the line. Look at Hinson drive on the outside.
Gavin Hinson in that Rob's Custom Wraps machine trying to get back on the podium. It would be a heck of a crawl back, but if anybody can do it, it would be Gavin Hinson to be able to show us the pace, momentum, and grit that he has to claw back into this one. That's a big one. Holy Toledo, yellow flag comes out. Who was involved in that?
Zach White again. You others. River Hayes again is in it. This has been a rough night for the 81. See what happened. What caused this? Oh. Was that a send to the inside, or was that a door coming down with Walker?
Definitely had something to do with the number 95 of Landon Kelly. Again, glad I'm not a steward in these types of situations, having to make the tough calls at 180 miles an hour. As you called it, was that a send or was that a come down, driver coming down on the lane? Either way, we still have a few laps left to go till the stage. Will we get to the end? Green and clean, I hope so. And then we have a very long run for the final stretch to lap 228 at the end of the night.
And so, River Hayes, the one that's coming down pit road, that caution did, I don't think, gave a lucky dog. No, it was Elijah Maupin, who just had lost a lap at the top of the caution, I believe, who got the lucky dog instead. Yeah, he had just, I think, been lapped right at the top of the caution. So the 92 takes a lucky dog with heavy damage.
Wow, so Caleb Hunt and Zachary King, both of them falling out of luck there just as the caution comes out that they both desperately needed.
And so, the 92 gets some luck on their side here. That, meanwhile, sees Colin Bollinger removed from the race.
Oh. Well, that's never a good sign.
Not exactly sure. Might have said something race control did not like, but the 53 is parked.
53 is not even parked. 53 is out of here.
Yep, he's done, like I just said.
Yeah,
so,
no, absolutely. That leaves us with Christian Barnes, Coulter Clark, that number 29. My goodness, this guy. I mean, we've talked about him all night long, giving us a little wiggle there. Let us know he sees us. I mean, what can we say about Coulter? Because he's weaved around the racetrack more than my knitting grandma. He's been up, down, in the middle, all over the racetrack, trying to find some momentum. He's battled it out. He's gone 3 wide before. What won't he do to win this race tonight?
There's a lot of things that can be the wrong choice, but I think now, as we see if anyone takes the time to pit or not, answer is looking mostly not. I think right now everyone's kind of just thinking it's too much of a risk even to go in the traffic now, for the most part. Not too many people outside of Landon Kelly. allowing themselves to think about pit stops here, try and find a little bit of strategy difference, because we've had one green flag cycle of pit stops the past 2 days, not including the truck race in terms of that data.
And Landon Kelly comes in there on lap 119, able to stay on the lead lap, so able to go to the stage break and then beyond. So expect to see Kelly cycle forward. But for now, I mean, you're absolutely right. Drivers have got to be a little bit more cognizant about the traffic and what's going on around them, as it's ever becoming more and more difficult to stay clean, as drivers are just on alternate strategies and running at completely different paces.
Yep. And so we'll set up for about, I think, a 4, maybe 3 lap dash on stage. It's gonna be interesting. Charge up to the end here. Jaden Walker amongst those who just got some race control penalties for the initial pit stop. Few drivers have asked for EOLs. A lot of people have asked for EOLs, in fact, over the caution. Who, at this point, out of those left outside of maybe Barnes, who is my pick, do you think can win this race, and why?
Who do I think can win this race and why? We've got a lot of drivers to pick from, to be honest with you. And I'm going to pick a driver that's further down the order. I'm going to pick Gavin Hinson. I mean, Hinson has just shown determination and grit tonight. I mean, look at the scuff marks on his car. He's been to war and back. He's climbed back up into 6th. I wish we could see a driver timeline position of where he's been, because his trials and tribulations, I mean, his saga would be as long as the Odyssey at this point.
Might be a good opportunity for Hinson to drive himself up to the front. Now has a chance to work with Barnes on the count. Have to think, now that they got the chance to link up here, you'll see room possibly open up for this 39 if the 27 gets a big enough jump on the 29 on the inside line. Here's the setup. 4 laps to go in the stage. 2 teammates in the front row with Waterforce. Clark, Anderson, Crowder, Marino Jr. in the top 3 rows. So we're all prepared to find out what happens on the restart. Keep in mind, we still have 12 on the lead lap. We lost a couple cars off the lead lap with the caution. Here we go. Pace car off, green flag ready. There's the launch, and Hinson didn't get the count. Hinson didn't go. Didn't get the chance to link up with a teammate off the rip. Clark takes 2nd.
Oh, man, and the momentum that the 39 of Gavin Hinson desperately needed is not there. He's getting all the help in the world from Cody Anderson behind, but there's no doing here. Coming out of 1 and 2, they've lost the drive that they needed on the race restart here and now. What can they do now that they're separated by miles from the leader? Robbie Adams in chat replying simply F.
I think he was expecting a lot more from Hinson than 6th off the start. Now, Cody Anderson trying to go outside, finding the outside, something to come up with, coming to 2 laps to go. Answer is nothing. Crowder now takes a poke on the outside up the road. There's the move and swoop. Clark trying to build a run. 2 laps to go, stage number 2. Clark stays on the bumper. Crowder peels off Clark. Clark left the door open. 44 jumps up to 2nd.
29 of Coulter Clark is no out a ton of ground here. What can they do to recover anything at this point in time? They're going to try to slot back in, but the number 10 is giving them the drive there. For now, it'll be Barnes and Crowder. The 27 leads the 44, but for how long? It's nearly 1/10 separating them, but it's bumper to bumper between 1, 2, 3 as we get to the final end of this stage.
Final time around in stage number 2. Crowder on the bumper. Here comes Marino Jr. Marino Jr. does not have enough of a run. Side drop pulling him back. Up in the wall goes one driver. Christian Barnes takes the green-white checker flag over Crowder. Marino Jr. in the top 3 over Gillen at the line, but switched around after it. Hinson, Ullman, Vincent, Kelly, Anderson, Maupin. All in the top 10. Clark got shuffled to 11th for the end of stage number 2. Thoughts on second stage there?
That was a lot different than the first stage. I think the drivers were definitely getting their elbows out here for the Rob's Custom Wraps 351. Christian Barnes did the best job of keeping his nose clean throughout all of it and really just finding his momentum and driving his race. I think that's what led to his success here in the second stage, but you can't count out some of the drivers that really did a great job of climbing back into the fight. I mean, Gavin Hinson just might be my driver of the day. I mean, that catch, the save that he was able to make early on in stage 2 or very late in stage 1, I can't quite remember, but the catch all the way down to the apron coming out of 2 and then able to recover back of the pack, charge his way through. He sits P5 right now. Would be remiss to not mention Hinson right now.
Yeah, Hinson, I think, is definitely going to be one of those you have to keep it on stage 3 because we know he's got good decision-making ability. He's proven it here tonight. Just didn't get the timing down, obviously, with his teammate. Zachary King has already moved up to the head of the line because he is the lucky dog car for this caution to end stage 2. And there we go with the extension for the caution flag. Pit road opening this time by King. Got a chance to try and battle his way back to the front after, remember, 69 laps led before speeding, then crashing down the front straightaway. And now, back in the conversation. And the interesting thing again will be, if we get a green flag run here, the math doesn't math because we're looking at the fuel being a couple laps short, about 5 to 6, maybe up to 10 in stage 3 on the one stop.
Say that one more time for me, Justin.
Remember, we went 44 to 47 in the green flag stop stage in the previous stage.
Yes.
Right now, we're at 100 to go.
We'll have to split this one up, won't we? So, if you're behind the wheel, what's going through your head and how do you divide this one up is the real question, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
obviously, there is a risk if you pit under green and you get a caution flag. So there's so much at stake on just even timing up when you pit if there's a caution early in the stage. Because that's still, if you're before the point of 45 to go, puts you in a spot where you're still going to have to come again or top off.
I think you split it up evenly, right? You know you have limited tire sets available going into this one. It's a very, very long race. You have 70% limited fuel load. Why not split this one up into thirds? You have 100 laps left. Shoot for 33, 33, and 33. Pit lane exit becomes alive as nearly the entire field comes in Right now, we're running lap 129 for 12 cars. Scratch that, make that 11 cars. Few cars further back in the pack are still trying to catch up at this point. Zachary King gets back onto 129, the lead lap now, with Landon Kelly, 95, cycling to the front.
And I'm not sure how this is going to work. Kelly definitely needs a caution. He did pit the previous yellow flags or two. So the 95 getting the chance to at least lead laps. Hinson, because he took tires previously, went with the fuel only. That's why he's in second. In the words of Tastic YouTube, I'm guessing this is YT short form, no strategy. Cautions will ruin strat. I mean, is he wrong or right?
You're definitely right. Cautions will ruin any strategy call that you make. If you split this one up into thirds and a caution comes out right before you need to pit, right after you need to pit, it's going to throw off your entire game. But I think if you try to go 33 as your middle ground, it leaves you open and available for options here. And Gavin Hinson now cycling to the bottom row here behind the pace car. Rob's Custom Wraps car is, man oh man, been through the trenches and back.
Coming up to 98 to go. If they can just save fuel for this. If it was to go green, you need 49 laps from this point, roughly, per run to make it. That'd be the longest out of anybody's stint-wise. Let's find out how this goes with Kelly choosing the top. As John Woman behind him this time. Caleb Hunt also up there, but is a lap down. So your lucky dog car, with all things sorted, is the third on the top. Coming up to the restart zone. 98 laps to go. Here we go. The outside is the only one that actually hit the gas pedal. Everybody else caught sleeping.
95 just takes off like a rocket ship by himself. Gavin Hinson sleeping at the wheel yet again. Got a helping dose of pushing and shoving from the number 27, who's growing impatient with Hinson's restart tactics right now.
Hearing an incident happening, caution is out. And back under yellow, Joshua Gillen was involved. And a couple others also. As Adam Holston, I think, seen a hole there. And the problem is, car wasn't stable. Watch the 45. It's enough. That's enough to bring the caution with the calls of wrecking over the radio. But, I mean, what do you say? I don't know how to, I'm not sure I should be the one to say. All I know is, this might be a top-off situation because this helps out with the math a lot easier now.
Not if you're going for my 33, 33, 33 strat. This does nothing to affect the third run, but if you're on any other strategy, of course, like you said, a top off could be beneficial to some and not to others, but it's definitely tough to call situations like that from up here in the broadcast booth. We only get a couple of looks at a situation. We only get a couple of angles of a situation. Leave that one up to race control, but I think you called it as you saw it. Definitely looking for race control's decision on that one. Couple of comments in chat. Robbie Adams back in the chat saying he's definitely right. All I care about right now is that Hinson has his eyes open and has put on the gas for this start. And Robbie Adams following that one says you might as well top off if you're not going to go on the restart.
Gillen's the Munsters who peeled Owen down already.
Let's see the.
Now let's find out. Let's see if anyone tops off. No. You do have a couple at the back of the group. And that might be part of the play if the tires last for Marino Jr., for Anderson, for Vincent, for Hayes once those would peel down this time again. Coming up to 95 to go. If we get an air caution top off, we can make it from there if we were to get a quickie fashion. So, that being said here, a lot of people prioritizing keeping the car in the front like the 95 again.
Exciting to see drivers really claw their way back into this one over and over again. But right now, it's all up to the 95, the 34, and the 39 to decide what's going to be what as they lead the charge on this race restart. A couple of drivers throughout the field deciding to come down pit road, but so far so good. And Daisy in chat saying, I say we invert the field and see how that goes.
See what happens this time, but some of the drivers are still getting repairs done. Service can just get done for some of the repairs for Hayes and Walker specifically under this yellow flag period. So we continue on with the action once again. So, let's be getting prepared for a restart pretty soon. John Ullman, with everything being said and done, was able to jump to second with the scoring loops. Heisey's been up here all night. That 34, looking to shine bright here in this one if they can try and get some lead laps here. Highest up out of anybody yet to get a lead lap now on the grid.
John Ullman, I feel like, was down and out for a while, but so far it says he started fourth, running in second place right now. I'd love to see that timeline again of where he's been and who he's been racing against as we head into the choose now.
This time inside, shows by the top two. Gillen, and once those are topped off again. Followed by the previous yellow. Choose is good. And we're coming up to a 93 lap to go, run to the end. Still one stopper to two stopper for this field. The more we pace, the more it helps the fuel mileage. Try and go one stopping. We still have about 12 that are all in the lead lap here. So we get all prepared for the restart as a result, and we still have some contenders that have shown flashes. How about Zachary King? He is back to fourth for the restart.
What?
Yup.
Last pit lap, looking at King, came in on lap 129. Okay, that makes sense. He cycles his way forward. Zach King is back in this mix. I think he's definitely turned that frown upside down, to put it squarely and plainly. I could see it on his face already as we take the restart. The number 95 again takes off like a rocket ship under the green flag conditions. The 34 left sleeping behind the wheel with the 44 in suit. Gavin Hinson falling out of favor right now on that high groove. The 07 of Lauren Vincent is there to consume fourth place. That low groove is there just driving all of this momentum. Gavin Hinson has got to consume that low groove, but he's getting help from the 51 of King from behind, and that's all he needed to stay in the fight.
Top four or so, just about single file on the bottom. Now Crowder wants to try and get track position here. Crowder trying to lead the outside. He's one of the other drivers who's yet to get a lead lap tonight. Can he get himself up front for the first time this evening in the 44? There's a good opportunity. Looking like Henson's comfortable with pushing him as they work their way to the front.
Just a ton of movement here throughout the field. Gavin Hinson and the 44 of Ashton Crowder now in the lead of the race. Can Hinson follow up? The 34 of Ullman is there in that low groove behind the number 95, but not helping out in any fashion. Now across the stripe, Crowder will take it. Does that actually mean he's led a full lap? He will be.
Ashton Crowder to the race lead for the first time all night. Now, who does he try to work with to keep himself there? Has Hinson on the bumper. Hinson not forcing the issue for 3 wide or anything along those lines. There was a gap down the front. Will Hinson get a chance to try and move in front of Kelly? They all squeeze together. A little bit of compression there, causing some checkups. Oh, look at Hinson. Hinson to the race lead once again. He has only led 1 lap tonight. Now to the point.
And Zachary King behind him at the stripe. Now there goes the 95. Gives a little bit of a squeeze to Zachary King here and now. But it will be still fair and square between the duo as we try to get help from behind. The 39 gets a dose from the 95. And the 51 of King left waiting in the wings for his help from John Ullman. The Domino's machine of Christian Barnes and 27 there as well, looming, waiting for an opportunity to strike. He's played the discretion is the better part of valor card this entire race, and it's gone his way. Let's not forget about Christian Barnes, and he took the second stage win as well, so he knows what he needs to do to get back into the lead of this one when it matters most.
Exactly here, it's so much about decision making when it comes to what if you want to win a race like this. Right now, that outside line losing a lot of momentum here. Still very early for the fuel runs. And obviously, the play for Kelly is you don't get yourself involved in any trouble with the way things are shaping up at the front of the field for the 95 at least. Right now, Kelly is about halfway, give or take, on the fuel tank.
More momentum being given there to the 34, but he didn't like it or wasn't ready to accept the help from behind and nearly made familiar with the concrete barriers here. And that could have been a close one there at the front of the field. Big drag being given there, and the 29 goes into the 07. That's going to send a few cars into the wall.
Well, that was an aggressive move for the 29 underneath the line. Trying to squeeze underneath the 07. We did not get a caution, though. The group has been broken up with Hinson, Kane, Barnes up in front. About that.
Whoa! That was quick, and what a recovery as well to keep it green so far. But man, one of the drivers I've been keeping an eye on, Warren Vincent, getting the unfortunate commentator's curse that we all know is absolutely true, falls to the back of the pack right now.
So, Landon Kelly gets shuffled as a result. Jelly goes back to the single file. It looks like that may have just forced everyone to calm down a little bit. The lead group's still 13 thick. He was on board with King, riding second. Good recovery back. Now a chance to save a bit of fuel. Keep it in the high gear, you were saying.
Getting slingshot out of 2. The drive isn't quite there to catch up to the Rob's Custom Wraps number 39, but coming out of 4, he is able to get back up to the bumper and then give a little help of the push there to the Ford Mustang out in front, leading this race right now. It's all been up to Gavin Hinson after that big recovery that he's been up to. And the Rob's Custom Wraps car is putting on quite the show for us tonight, isn't he?
So, with less than 80 laps to go, we're still 30 away from the fuel mark, about 15 minutes or so till we have to think about that. Some drivers. Oh, Clark is one of those at the back of this, still trying to force the lines to go. That 29 just does not want to stay patient.
Can't stop a man on a mission right now as he gets one on the invisible car. The 15 being next up, the Chili's Mobile. I don't think he's looking for baby back ribs tonight as he tries to get by and slip through the number 15 and wants more than just what is given tonight. 29 has put up a fight as cars sparks fly out from underneath of them.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful. He's not making too many friends with some of the moves he's been making as of late. That's why no one else is willing to give him a chance to get this outside line led by him with the way things are shaping up.
There he goes again. He drifts out to the high side, trying to carry momentum. Will it be anything to do this time coming? It doesn't look like he can make it work until this time opportunity presents itself. He tries to do something with that number 10, but it's just not quite sticking. Across the stripe we go.
So, do you like the play of keep it conservative now that we've seen some of the over-aggressiveness? Try and keep it a little bit calmer before we get the pit stops?
100%. I think this is exactly what you'd like to see. The drivers are settling in. Had we had started the race this way, I think we definitely would have had more cars remaining in the field. But so far, the drivers have definitely settled into a groove, barring a few who are just out there looking for trouble, per se.
Right now, they all pace themselves along that red and white line. Here is Anderson's cam again. Still has enough time to scratch his face, I guess you could say, running in 8th.
It's been a pretty good race for Cody Anderson. I know we've seen him a few times throughout the race, but just to check back in with him, Anderson right now has been running pretty quiet but deadly race and just keeping it calm. Last lap around was a 30.2, matching that of the drivers around him. His fast lap being a 29.3, again matching that of the drivers around him, except Joshua Gillen behind being a little menace and perhaps being a little bit faster.
A little bit more calm when it comes to the tempo, if you will. No need to force it, no place to really send it along here with things shaping up late. Well, somebody still has to send that message to Clark. Eventually you'll learn the message that no one wants to go yet. still is the only person willing to say, woo-wee, and go out to the outside, and then realize no one's willing to work with him, lose all the momentum. Got a little trap that time to keep it up for an extra half lap for Landon Kelly. And eventually, it's either going to go one of two ways. He gains a spot, or he goes right back in line. It looks like it's going to be right back in line.
I'm sorry, Justin, your mic cut out there. What did you say? Coulter Clark sounded like? Well, excuse me.
We.
No, I did. That's not what you said. That's not what you said, Justin.
We.
There we go, Coulter Clark impersonation as he tries to make his way around the number 10 of Joshua Gillen. Throwing his elbows out continuously has got to put some significant wear on his tires, but I don't think he's too concerned. Now, you're better at math than I am, Justin. What lap? Wow, what a run there on the 29. Is he going to come down on the number 10? He sure is going to slot right in and doesn't have to kiss a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, this, oh my, lap traffic. Clark gained a lot of draft from the back of Zach White. No one else really tried to the outside from it except for the 29, and yet again, no help. We tried side draft a bit, possibly. He's trying to side draft Kelly. Instead, he got side drafted.
What's he doing here for the 29? He actually is slipping back a little bit, but somehow gets a nice slingshot. That side draft playing favor for him, coming into 3 and 4 now. And across the stripe, he's alongside that number 15 of Anderson.
All this is to say, oh my, checkup. I think they're fuel saving hard at the bottom of the racetrack here, Zarger, because the speeds are dropping by 10 miles an hour. That's why Clark is now boosting. I think a few of the cars are starting to get a little concerned that they might not make the number they need.
Take a look at the last pit lap, 129. What's the number we're looking for to make it 33? It would be mid 60, something like that.
Well, if you go 33, it's now. That's the part. But if you try to run it dry, you have to somehow comfortably get it to, I'd say, 45, 46 to go at least. So give yourself some room. Right now, we're at 34, 35 laps for everybody outside of Marino Jr. amongst your top 5.
Coulter Clark trying to be one of those contenders into the top 5, contending with John Ullman in the 34. And looking like he has some momentum on the rest of the field. Gets past the 48. Can he get the drive past the 27 as well? It looks like Coulter Clark is here, ready to party the night. A little bit of faith there from the 48. Finally, he might get the help that he needs, and a little bit of momentum coming out of 3. Will it be there? Finally, Coulter Clark gets the momentum and the assistance that he desperately has been asking for the past 20 or so laps.
So up to the lead, now that he's got some assistance, is Clark. No, don't drive into the wall. Clark nearly pushed so hard he drove up the track. And the 29 to the race lead on the bottom, bring Marino Jr. with him. Here comes Maupin, and all of a sudden, Meatball Motorsports has 3 cars inside the top 5.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff. The drivers have clawed their way through the field and gotten back up into it. Coulter Clark back into a fighting chance for the end of the race. Anthony Marino, the number 48. Gavin Hinson, right now the number 39 in third. Elijah Maupin, the driver who started in dead last, yes, 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 dead last place, now runs in 4th position alongside his teammate.
Yeah, this is turned interesting. Oh, look at that. Race leader got shuffled. Clark ended up going up the track and letting everybody go. That leads to the question, why try and lead the outside in the first place? Oh, that's why. Right back to his teammates. Let's all work together now, I guess you could say, if you have an orange number.
Slot back in with a couple of teammates, maybe conserve a little bit of fuel, get that strategy cooking. Malvin, King, and Clark running nose to tail. 3, 4, 5. They've got to have something cooking for their pit stop as it's coming up here very, very soon. King back into the mix finally. It's been a long time coming, but man, oh man, is he desperate for a caution right now.
Vincent had to come down pit road. Remember, lost the pack. Look at this. Crowder's saying, I don't want to save too much fuel. They're below 170 on the bottom. Ashton Crowder to the race lead. The help of Joshua Gillen. It's worth noting that a lot of people, some have been independents for the night. There are several drivers that had team channels that elected to not use them to work with Crowder's channel on the open radio tonight. Right now, the 44 looking to try and go back-to-back here in the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Still with 58 to go. He gets more lead laps for the first time in a while. It's pretty clear he does not feel comfortable or need to save. Everyone else is getting forced to burn up gas themselves now.
Lillian King back to cheering on the 51 and the Meatball crew as they fall out of flavor. 7, 8, 9 position along to Maupin, King, and Clark as the charge is on from Crowder, Gillen, and Anderson. Now Anthony Marino getting involved with that number 10. Joshua Gillen finding his way to the front of the field here and now. And this will be a lead for the Go Army truck.
Joshua Gillen up front. There was something on the radio earlier where Ashton Crowder said, I'll give you a break later. Anthony Marino said, I like to catch that break right now. He just got it to move to second. So the 48 rides in front of Crowder. We're about 10 laps away from the comfortable green light, you can arguably say tonight, on fuel. But realistically, we're about 7 from stop. Zach White has to come down. He made it only 54. Hold on, 54 with caution laps. That might be something to keep an eye on.
I see where you're getting these crazy ideas from now. Drivers being able to extend a little bit there. And number 10, Gillen, getting cheers from Sandra now as he consumes the lead of the race. The Army Strong driver showing us how strong and capable he is right now with 2 laps led and started back in 15th place. So all these positions gained on the evening have been hard fought with blood, sweat, and tears. 14 on the good for the evening. Can they hold on as we approach the under 50 to go milestone?
So they're back to heavy fuel save. Right now, they have backed down the pace by at least 30 miles an hour, 25 actually. Now, Moreno Jr., who already came with a top off, has more fuel than everyone going through. Landon Kelly could only go to 53. Landon Kelly, Caleb Hunt cannot make it. They've indicated pit stops coming up. And so that's expected for the 95. Hunt, 47. Oh, look at this gap.
Joshua Gillen down to the apron, got sketchy there for just a minute, but really doing his best to close down the gap with Anthony Marino Jr. They're doing a great job to escape. Crowther behind, who's cooled off his tires and might close down to Joshua Gillen ahead, but it'll all come down to the pit stop cycle. Cody Anderson, the number 15 in 4th position, has got ribs and is dente.
So, we're just about at the mark. Topsy-turvy nervous time. And right now, everybody with bated breath of what they could do. Hayes and Walker couldn't go any further. They just came down to 44. Might have to go even more saving. Right now, that's why so many others have gone unsaved. The 10 and 48 are gone.
And they had those extra laps because they topped off on lap 134, 135 respectively. And Crowder was unable to come in, so the 44 leads to the best of his ability right now, but has Cody Anderson there in the wings looming. And then number 15, when will the critical pit stop? Oh my goodness, there it goes, the number 29. Everywhere you look, it's always Coulter Clark, isn't it?
Here we go, pit stops, and some people are nearly running each other over. 48 to go at the line. I don't think they can make it either. Clark and so many more peeling on down. They were able to make it 52 with all those pace laps. This has turned into a fuel mileage race, and who is going to get booked for speeding? Nobody this time.
Pack of cars make their critical pit stops here as Marino Jr. and Joshua Gillen continue their battle up at the front now.
And obviously they've said, you know what, let's just run 3 seconds quicker and see what happens. I think Marino Jr. might have just won this race. With the top off, with Gillen, they can make it from the next lap on fuel because that's about the rate they went under a normal run previously. They are coming in this time. This is now in the top 2's hands for the lead, but there's a lot when it comes to strategy. It's 15 seconds, 16 seconds the gap on entry.
And Malpin trying to blend there after just taking his, gets back out. So looks like it was clean for all of the drivers. No one really succumbing to the speeding, but looking at the gap now between Marino and Gillen, that was a huge stopping difference between the 10 and the 48. Let's see what it looks like coming out on pit lane, or out of pit lane is the real question. Where they cycle out and who they end up battling with. Christian Barnes, the number 27, Landon Kelly, Coulter Clark, Gavin Hinson. Again, the number 39, I'm keeping my eye on him to see where he cycles back out to the front.
And so off and away goes the top 2. And this is going to be one of the largest leads of the day. See the interval 7, 6. Might go down to 5 once they get up to speed. They're not connected though. 48 and 10 weren't connected, and that's going to mean Marino Jr. has to back up to get back to Gillen. They will pick up Caleb Hunt, though, so they might get an extra car here in their pack.
Just like in The Hangover, my wolf pack of 1 became a wolf pack of 3. And now we became whole again as the trio now takes off. The 48 will lead us again. Anthony Marino Jr. started in 12th, leading us for the 11th lap now. Has a couple of drivers to contend with for the race lead. Joshua Gillen has been pretty calm, cool, and collected this entire race. I don't think he's going to do anything egregious anytime soon. We'll wait for the final 5 before we make any calls, but right now it is definitely looking like Marino and Gillen's race, isn't it?
Especially if they're able to keep up the pace. I think the gap's going to come down here, Sugger, but this is... They still have the big fuel advantage. There is only one other car that I think you could argue will make it on a normal stint here. Christian Barnes with a fuel save made it to their same lap. Here's the downside. Barnes with his stop, he fell 15 seconds still behind. He is well out of contention in the main pack. He's right now in the pack with Maupin and Hayes. Anderson and Crowder have fallen 12 seconds back. Clark, Hinson, Kane, Ullman, Kelly are the chase pack.
Number 29 has some clean air in front of him finally. That should give him some warm, fuzzy feelings throughout the evening, as Hinson chases him down. That Rob's Custom Wraps car has looked clean and mean, but has had some damage on it on that front left side since the beginning of the race. He's been in the trenches and back, and right now it's looking like P4 for Hinson. Coulter Clark in P3, Gillen and Marino up the road by a long stretch.
And so the game is on to see who's got the fuel, who doesn't, as we said. Obviously, there's going to be at least some concern on the gas mileage for this group here. There's not a lot of any wiggle room for all these cars. So, if you're in this group, I think they catch up by the time we get to 25-20 to go at the latest. But, from there, what do you do, especially knowing Clark is the lead car?
I think you have to play nice with Clark, unfortunately. I think you just have to give him the help that he has been asking for all night long, force him to the front, and then when it's 5 to go, maybe 10 to go, that's when the gloves come off and you're no longer friends. You become foes again. I know we have mentioned he's got teammates around him, and it looks like the Rob's Custom Wraps car, the number 39, is in a bit of a pickle right now between a couple of those other teammates. Up ahead, the pack continues to expand as we pick up cars. The number 10 chases down the 48 of Marino, but has a buffer in between them now, and I don't think they're going to give up that momentum and place anytime soon as they desperately try to stay on the lead lap. Robbie Adams asking in the chat, do we even know if they have enough fuel? Well, Justin's been doing the commentator's math on a cocktail napkin with a crayon, of course, so take that for as it were, but the data shows that Marino and Gillen should be able to make it to the end, even if we stay green. Is that correct, Justin?
That's at least the thought, because we went about that distance that we had when they pit in the stage 2 long run. The others that I think for sure are good, Anderson, Crowder, and obviously Barnes, who pit the same lap as Marino and Gillen. The others, maybe save mode by a bit. So really, it depends on the situation. For Anderson and Crowder, they're not gaining, though. They're not likely to catch up to the lead group. They are a tenth or two off the pace. Of course, Robbie Adams says, I don't care about the air cars. I want to know who my driver's fuel strat is. Well, doesn't matter because they've caught up to the lead group, and now it's on. Because now Clark did not go for a move, and Hunt's already moving out of the way for him.
You called it yet again, Justin. This pack catching up to Marino and Joshua Gillen. They weren't going to get away scot-free with this one. They're going to put up a fight, and it looks like the 29 and the 51. It's always you two boys up to something. Challenging for the lead now. Give me a little push to the number 10. Up in front is Zachary King, who's now back up into third. That'll put a smile on Lillian King's face, who's been cheering on the Meatballs and Mr. King all night long.
Yep, and now we find out when the next move is to go. Obviously, with the fuel situation, play right now is already fuel save. I think Marino Jr. is even playing the careful game to make sure they have enough fuel at the end because they've been full tilt. Now, they can play the game of backing up the pace because they know everyone else has to go. Make sure you're doubly good on fuel, or make sure you don't run yourself out of gas. Marino Jr. getting a far way ahead with how much he carried too much throttle.
Checking in further back with this other pack of cars, River Hayes is behind Christian Barnes, that number 27. That was running so well and won that second stage, tumbles down to P10 right now.
Yeah, you have to think with 55 laps led, it's a little different for him, but with everyone saving so much, Anderson and Crowder, they push the pace. They're almost up to the main crew. These cars can even have a shot if they decide they don't need a save either. This might become everybody all in the same group just based on how much the packs are saving. They picked up the pace again up in the lead group. Now to the 15 and 44 are trying to make some moves.
Again, I'd love to see the 39 of Gavin Hinson claw his way back into this. He's been doing so well tonight to get back into the top 5. It's only just desserts for him to get a podium. Cody Anderson, Landon Kelly now challenge each other. Here comes the 44 and the 95 as they duke it out as well.
Right now, the outside is roaring. 182 miles an hour on the top of the racetrack on the rip up there. Vincent also joining in. He is the last car remaining in the race. Running down in 16th after 6.5 minutes of repairs for the 07 car. Anderson yet to get led laps tonight. He's one of just 2 cars yet to lead in this main group. Him and Ullman. They're now alongside with a lap car in between second and first right now. No move up front. Marino Jr. stays to the inside. So here comes the 15. Slow, steady increase on the momentum it seems to be here, Zunger. But now, for the first time, Anderson has an opportunity if he wants to get up front. And look at Marino slam the door.
That was definite telling in body language Marino not content with Cody Anderson inheriting the lead of the race without putting up too much of a fight. Joshua Gillen in that number 10 slots back in behind the 44 of Crowther. No, excuse me, that's the 58 up ahead.
Yeah, and with the way things are maneuvering here. Oh, trouble! Crowder is around. Gillen's involved. Ullman with a slam, and we're under yellow. The whole lead pack just imploded out of nowhere. As all of a sudden, we're under yellow. There goes the fuel strategy. Might need to watch the 10 here. Believe he might have been the trigger. Did he come up multiple lanes there to you?
Too tough to call from that angle. Let's see if we can watch it one more time and see exactly what happened from another angle. The 10 there to the low side has traffic in front. The 56 there gives a little nudge to the car in front. Does he get loose all on his own? He gets squirrely. He starts weaving around and then comes up. Yeah. How do you decipher that one, Justin? I mean, you know better than I.
And now, I think that's definitely potentially going to be against the 10, maybe. It might be a racing deal. We'll see what race control rules. But with 23 to go, this takes away the fuel strategy game, and this could intensify the pack. Crowder, I'm not sure how that car is going to run. They got a heavy hit from the 34. John Ullman is amongst those coming down. Crowder is not coming down despite what was at least a 50-mile-an-hour difference to the door.
Yeah, big surprise there, but the drivers that were able to make it out and get some advantage out of this, or it's going to be Marino, Anderson, King, and Clark. But again, fuel strategy now completely out the window. What do you do here, Justin?
I mean, drivers followed the incident to get repairs done, obviously, but now, if it comes down to it, you're keeping on the racetrack, I think might be the play. Marino Jr., we knew coming into this situation was one of those better on fuel per se. But is he coming down? Is everyone coming down to making sure they're good? And some might have a set. We have some mixed calls here. In fact, King amongst those who stays out, as expected, Crowder is going to come down. Marino Jr. brought Anderson with him. Kelly is in. Maupin has damage. And so we only have all Fords who stay out. So everybody coming in for outside of a couple, make sure they have the tire. We're at 2 to green. 2 to green.
Anthony Marino Jr. getting jacked up on one side and jacked up on the other side. It'll be foreign fuel for him to make it to the checkered flag. Unlimited green-white checkers available, so taking up a top off of fuel probably isn't the worst idea in case we keep throwing extra laps at it, right?
Yeah, green-white checker territory might get interesting if we get there on the fuel, but I think that there's more priority to just surviving to make sure at the top of that pylon. It'll be a 20 lap dash. We get back going here. What has tonight become one of the longer races of the season for those keeping track on time. We aren't going to be concerned about timers. If needed, we can go in our 2 hours. I hope I didn't just jinx that.
Great job, Justin. Fantastic. Fantastic. Still love you. Zachary King and Coulter Clark. I mean, I hate to say it. I hate to be corny. I hate to be cheesy. But it is always these two, isn't it? I mean, Zachary King and Coulter Clark back up into the lead with 20 to go. Can they make it on fuel? That's question number one. Will they work together? And in what capacity is my question number two. And three, do they have the tires to stay there?
Yep. So, Anderson on the outside is the first and freshies. Looks like the Fords all on the inside, working as one. You have Chevy leading the outside line for the upcoming restart. Coming to a 20 lap to go restart here from EchoPark. And so, as we get set to go, keep in mind one thing. We have 11 cars, just 11, that have a chance to win. If we're to stay green, those are all the cars in the lead lap. We have 2 a lap down battling for Lucky Dog, Walker, and Ullman, who are both dealing with damages to the race cars. Significant damage, if that. Ready to fly for the restart zone. Kane versus Anderson on the front row. Trump car's been having great restarts all night. Oh, look at that. Anderson timed it up. Got it near identical to the teammates on the gas. And now it's even, coming up to 1.
But the help is there from the number 29. Coulter Clark has been a great teammate to Zachary King all night long. The chase is on and the heat is on as the lights turn on here in EchoPark.
On them right through and battle on out. Coming on through. Now 19 laps to go. A slide up the racetrack. King trying to do a bit of a side draft. All the Chevys, triple car tandem for Marino Jr. to take the lead. Once again, the 48 to the front. That 48 car for is sliding. Somehow they hold on. King's got damage as he gets shuffled.
Where does King cycle out in all of this right now? He was in the lead on the restart, cycles back down to P6, out of touch with his teammate now as we gave a little touch there to another car. Landon Kelly now in the lead of the race with Anthony Marino Jr., Coulter Clark looming without his friend. Has a lot of foes around him. Gavin Hinson being one of them in that number 39. Cody Anderson up ahead.
All of them trying to figure out what's going to be the next approach for the attack. Seen a couple of times, the outside takes a few laps to wind up, get the momentum built. They all work their way through this time with the 15 dropping back. Obviously, the problem for Zach Kane's case now is he's wounded. He's got some rear bumper damage. He's going to be hard to get pushed around here with the damage, and they're not building up enough momentum to take that top yet. Here we go on the outside. Leaders shuffle again. Landon Kelly got shuffled. Now Clark's going for the lead this time. Anderson stays steady. Clark comes up with Hinson. This time through, 15 to go, a squeeze. Bumper to bumper, they rumble. Look at this, it's the 27 in it. It's now Barnes in the top 5.
With 14 to go, it's all popping off now. Coulter Clark is getting exactly what he wanted. Clean air in front of him. There's trouble behind. I think that might have been Jaden Walker. Who was that?
And now they all slow up, coming up 14 to go. And yet again, incident sparks up. That was Caleb Hunt, River Hayes around this time. Walker taking responsibility on the radio as bam, they go. I think this is going to be a strike hearing. It will be. Strike 2.
Oh.
Yep. And that's why we're having a restart with less than 10 to go.
Oh, man. Caleb Hunt, another driver I wasn't trying to say good things about because, man, oh, man, he was running up there pretty well, but just getting a little touch there from behind is going to ruin his run. And just 10 to go, like you said, when we go green, I think Anthony Marino is going to be in the best possible position on a 9-lap stint right now. Came in not too long ago. Coulter Clark, Gavin Henson, and Christian Barnes are all in the 30s for their stint. And as you beckoned before, around lap 25, the driver started screaming for help for their tires as the traction just wasn't there any longer, and it started becoming, well, a little bit more dangerous.
And they extend for the pit stops this time, so this takes to about 9 to go. Pit road will be open for those who need it this time. Clark is amongst those with damage, by the way. Mind you, with the way things are going down, we have maybe 9 quality cars left, and that's including those with damage who are still on the racetrack. Do you take the time to get the damage repaired because we have so little cars in the main pack?
I mean, 6 one way, half dozen the other at this point. I felt like if I was Zachary King, I would definitely come in for fuel and tires at this point. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. You can pull an Anthony Marino Jr., but at the same time, you could look the fool. And here comes Zach King, at least trying to toy with my heartstrings a little bit about coming down pit lane. Let's see if this is actually the call.
Let's see here. You know, King was asking about pit stops. He's already 37 in a run. I think he's a little bit concerned maybe with the fuel. He also has the damage, so this definitely falls into the get the car fixed so he has a chance here. Try and get a cup win here in this series. It's on the bubble, as we talked about, the bubble driver over Caleb Hunt, who's had a marring of a day. It's one of the types of tracks you expect Zachary King to contend, and he misses pit stall.
No. It's not that bad. We're still under caution. It's okay. We'll still cycle into the back of the pack. It's all good. Where is Joshua Gillen? Here comes Joshua Gillen right now out of pit lane. Got his service, and he'll cycle back to what looks like 9th position. No, excuse me, coming down pit road. Should still cycle back to 10th position behind King. That is, unless he's getting that damage repaired, and then in which case Joshua Gillen might be in a bit of trouble. Let's see what happens to Gillen's car.
Yep. Things just taking the chances to make sure that car is as good as it can be here from the back. He still has right front damage.
Yeah.
Coming to 10 laps to go.
He's got to get out in front of the pace car. Come on, Gillen. Go, 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 go.
There he goes. Spun the tires. And Marino Jr. chose the top with the choose this time over Clark. Hinson and Barnes chose top. Anderson, Crowder inside. Kelly, Maupin, then King offsetting. Going top, bottom, top. Woman bottom. King, or rather white bottom, and everyone else is coming around the racetrack still. 9 laps to go. How do you win this?
Your guess is better than mine, Justin. At this point in time, I feel like it's a crapshoot between anybody who's on the lead lap. We've seen drivers come from being multiple laps down like Zachary King. We've seen near saves such as Gavin Hinson. We've seen calm, cool, and collected racing such as Anthony Marino. We've seen hard chargers like Coulter Clark. It could be any one of those drivers tonight that I just named going for the win and getting a big haul of points and drinking a lot of champagne tonight.
And so we find out who's going to get it done tonight here in the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Nine laps to roll. Pace car is off. Still have 11 on the lead lap. Ready to fire. Green flag is out. Decent start for the inside, but better for the outside. At least for Marino Jr. He can't get the clear, though. Clark got the run. Clark nearly doors him as the 29 leads.
Slotting back in is the 48 in front of the 44 of Mitch Crowder. Gavin Hinson in that number 39 looming in, waiting for his mounting attack, but he is on 39. Make that 40 lap old tires at this point in time. Can't do anything. Christian Barnes trying to just ruin the 39's day right now on his 36 lap old tires. The 51 charges through the field. That's Zach King on his fresh rubbers. What can he do from here?
Right now, they're getting a little bit close, trying to pull back some of these drivers here. Hinson trying to pull back the 95. Right now, Anderson over the bumper of Clark. Clark DNF'd in his only appearance in the Cup Series. That was at Charlotte. He's getting shuffled by Anderson. Anderson drives to the outside, but no, couldn't clear. Here comes Crowder again.
Finally, that high side line is starting to become a thing, but still the momentum isn't favorable. Gavin Hinson finally gives up on it. The 15 tries to slot back in, but Gavin Hinson is consuming that real estate here and now. On the charges, the number 10 down to the apron goes the number 95. 39 tries to follow suit. Hinson in a little bit of trouble as he's caught in a pickle between these cars, but Coulter Clark leads us here and now in front of Ashton Crowder. Anthony Marino Jr. slips back all the way down into 7th position.
Going from a contender to the heart of the Hornet's nest. 5 to go. 3 wide for second. Landon Kelly squeezing King. Crowder back to P2. Hinson drives his way to 3rd for the sponsor. Right now, King trying all his might to get something to go here after the repairs. Can he try and get a W here? Crowder looking for the setup. Turns left, blocked off, 4 to go. Outside Hinson. Hinson trying to drive his way up to the front. 26 laps led for the 39 tonight. And the Rob's Custom Wraps machine. It's Hinson up in front with the help of King. Coming up to a few laps to go. 3 this time.
Gavin Hinson trying to get the win for the sponsor tonight of the evening, the Rob's Custom Wraps 351, which has 3 laps left to go. Hinson started in second and has a hard-fought battle all night long with the likes of Colton Clark, Ashton Crothers, Zachary King. The Rob's Custom wrapped car challenged his way to the front here and now. He's getting some help from the 29 from behind, but I don't think the Ideal Fest driver wants to keep it green and clean as he goes to the outside line, gives the block to the number 51, gets a help from Zachary King, and round goes the 29. That's going to spin the Rob's Custom Wraps car, but he keeps it straight and now, holy smokes, Gavin Hinson with just 3 to go is going to accept the yellow flag and still maintain the lead as King goes round.
Green, white, checkered territory. Caution flag is out. Hinson leads over Marino. And oh boy, they wanted to lead bad, and it implodes. Teammates collide.
That is the second, for those of you keeping track at home, historic save from Gavin Hinson tonight. Holy smokes.
Oh boy. Pit road is currently closed. They're crashing down on the pace lap. And so, Hinson with a lot of damage leads. Now, though, does he have a car that can hold on with the damage?
"29 laps led." He needs to lead on the one that matters most. It's coming up to this point. Like you said, we're in green, white, checker, Terry by the time we go green. What is the right strategy call? Hinson's on a 47 lap old set of tires. You cannot sacrifice track position at this point, but you need to nail these restarts. We haven't seen Hinson do it. He's had a couple of opportunities to practice up until this point, and Robbie Adams can probably back me up when I say this. He needs to get this one right.
It's going to be so critical if you want to win this race tonight. Remember, unlimited GWC, so about 14 that you have available tonight. If we get to the white flag, it's a race to the checkered. If we get a caution before that point, we'll try it again until we get to the white flag. We have an hour and 26 minutes worth of time, if necessary, to determine the winner of this race tonight. How about Maupin? Maupin is now up in the top 5 again. Kane, believe, got cause of caution with the push there, though. So the 51, he's going to have to come down pit road with the penalty situation, take him out of the equation, try and get his first win of the season. He'll be one of the first down pit road this time. So some of the drivers not going to have teammates to work with. Others going to have to find a way to block all the lines.
I am at the edge of my seat tonight. It has been a very exciting race all night long, and I could not have expected a better end to this Rob's Custom Wraps 351 here at EchoPark. The sun has gone down, the temperature has gone down, but the driver's temperature has gone up. Gavin Hinson, Anthony Marino Jr., Joshua Gillen, Elijah Maupin, and Cody Anderson, Coulter Clark, Christian Barnes, Zachary King, Ashton Crothers, and Landon Kelly are all in the top 10 right now.
And so, with them getting ready for the restart, arguably 7 with a chance with the cleanish cars. Who do you think is going to get the job done here? Who do you think's got the best chances, the way I'm trying to phrase this, out of everyone that's left?
I gotta go with the fan favorites tonight. I gotta go with the Rob's Customs wraps. Number 39 of Gavin Henson, of course. He's my fan favorite so far. And then also Joshua Gillen tonight. Joshua Gillen, I mean, just the paint scheme alone tugs at the strings of my heart, but something about him screams podium tonight.
And we're choosing this time. Rio Jr. wants those choosing the bottom. As the ULs all get given out. Henson will have the 48 on the bumper. 92. Maupin just got a choose violation. First violation of the night.
Maupin was running such a great race, and now getting that violation will cycle to the back of the pack. Gutting.
Got a great opportunity to try and fight here, and now we'll have to do it from the very tail end. See him just move to the bottom and let everybody go by. And now, 2 laps to go from Hotlanta. Henson, Clark, controlling the front row. Marino Jr., Barnes, row number 2. Teammates are not synced up here in any of the top 2 groups. Who gets the edge to try and win this one? Here we go. A little bit of bumping right on the inside. Marino Jr. trying to get the shot. But look at Clark. He got the better jump. Clark got the nose ahead. Now he's got the chance to try and clear into 1. Does it? It does turn himself. Henson up the track. Slam up for Anderson. Caution flag is out. We'll do this again.
I'm gutted. I am gutted that Gavin Henson was involved in that. I mean, just... let's get a replay from the blimp cam if we can. Take another look at this one here. I just don't think that the 29 was clear of the 39 there. So, you know, again, we'll leave this up to the race stewards as they have more than enough angles. But unfortunate there for Gavin Henson. But the 29 took off like a rocket ship there. Was almost clear of the 39. Comes back down and the lane was occupied. And, you know, Justin, tell me what you think of that one.
And so, Marino Jr. is up at the front of the field. And now, Gillen, Anderson, Kelly, the top 4. Some of those are decimated cars. Clark on the tow truck. Barnes on the tow truck. Second green, white checkered attempt coming up here. Yeah, now this is up in the air, to say the very least, on how this is going to play out. So, now, how do you handle this? Because we just had a lot of contenders just get decimated.
Zachary King on 4-lap old tires in the number 51, alongside Landon Kelly, who we haven't really said much about tonight, in that number 95. Also there, River Hayes on 4-lap old tires, also Jaden Walker, and that'll be the remaining 9 cars on the lead lap by the look of that. Definitely do not sacrifice track position at this point.
Yeah.
But I think you've made your bed if you've come down the lane or not. Anthony Marino Jr., 27 lap old tires. Joshua Gillen, 16. Cody Anderson, 27. And then Landy Kelly on 4. Eyes are on Kelly at this point.
Yeah, and this is to where Kelly, who had good speed early in the season, remember the 95, Daytona, made some headlines with how well we ran, had an opportunity to go to Sofadu's victory lane. Was one of those who tried different strategy, had to pit early compared to everybody else, still worked out for him. Well, the chaos rating tonight. And now, after he spent a minute plus in repairs previously, now has an opportunity, starting up at the top 4. We get back going. Kane, Hinson, Hayes, all down pit road for repairs. Mind you, Kane still has to serve a penalty, so Zachary Kane still has to come back down pit road anyhow, is saying. Counting all the damaged cars left here in this situation, Zager, in this situation. Right now,
there's a lot of damaged cars still in it, though, Justin.
That's what I was about to say. There's at least 2 or 3 that are in on the lead with at least salvageable cars up front.
See if we can check. Marino, Gillen, Anderson. Kelly's worse for wear. Malpin is clean. 28 lap old tires. King on some fresh rubber. What can they do?
And
Anthony
so
Marino Jr. is going to be the driver we keep our eye on for the race restart.
Would you believe Hinson, after that incident, is still going to be up in the front because he was one of just 1 or 2 to choose the outside. Kane, who still has to come down pit road, by the way, chose the outside also. So we'll see how that works out. They've told Kane, no, you can't do that. Please go to the bottom of the racetrack. And now, with that being sorted out here, did we mention that Walker is on the lead lap after all the incidents with a couple strikes? Well, at least 1 to the name of the 56. Kane is not moving off the top of the racetrack and now is. So Walker starts in 4th. Here we go. Try this again. Marino Jr. on the gas. Back underway with 2 laps to go, and Hinson does not have any go. That car is wounded and then some. Hinson brings Walker back with him. Walker is getting trapped. Kelly trying to push Ford Anderson. Restart is under review. Marino Jr. tries to block, coming to the white flag, this time by. Final time around for the 48 up in front. 45 laps led for car 48. Kelly trying to get some assistance for 3rd. Will Joshua Gillen get a run? Nothing doing down the back. No assistance coming from behind. Kelly now comes up. Now the 10 tries. Not going to work in the corner though. Marino Jr. for one more stretch gets it done at EchoPark. Anthony Marino Jr. once again gets the 48 car of victory in 2026. We've seen Brown driving the wins. Now we see Marino Jr. amongst those in the wins column for the car. Restart, still under review though. Everything still unofficial. Let's take a look at the unofficial race results. Cars are running out of fuel on the cool down. Gillen and Kelly were 2 and 3 at the line. Moffitt down in 4th. Anderson, Hayes, Walker, Hinson, Kane, and White were in your top 10 tonight in this one.
Barnes, Clark, Crowder, Ullman, Hunt, Vincent, Holston, Bollinger, Robertson, and Winkfield round out the 20 and out to 21.
For Cochran, Kime, Wilson, Lewis, Good, Moyer, Wallace. We're down in the 20s. All DNFs tonight. Hardy didn't even start tonight. Now, race control is still reviewing the restart. Now, keep in mind, remember, Hinson had significant damage on the outside. 48, changing lanes, start and finish line. Marino Jr. will not win this race. Joshua Gillen gets the win. How about that?
What a upset, but what a win for Joshua Gillen tonight. And that car has been to Warren back, that's for sure. He's been through the trenches, he's been overseas, been deployed, and now he takes victory here at EchoPark.
Yeah, again, you cannot change lanes before the start and finish line. And obviously, that was a chaotic one to say the very least again here this evening. I'm curious what that looked like here. Remember, probably was thinking, try and build up the momentum in that situation, but absolutely huge to determine the win. Gillen getting it done here in this one. We're still waiting for drivers to make their way to Silphadu's victory lane for this one tonight, Sagar. As your thoughts on this one?
Just what a dramatic finish. I mean, even without the penalties being applied, the race was absolutely fantastic. From green to checkered flag tonight, the drivers put on an absolute great show and continued to charge through the field. Of course, all these results are still unofficial. And man, oh man, what just an amazing race, number one. Unexpected results, number two. And number three, it was just entertaining and fun. From the start of this race, from the calm before the storm, before the pit stop cycle kicked off, this was all probably one of the most entertaining races I've seen all week long.
Again, right now this is from Race Control, 10-95-92. Or right now, how the top three are scored in the conversation by Harold Tucker III and Errors in Race Control here tonight, here in this one. Believe this may be one of the first, if not first, wins unofficially still for car number 10. Joshua, now in the broadcast booth. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this your first win? How are you feeling?
Man, I am so ecstatic. I've gotten a win, but it was in the truck series and it got taken away. But in the Cup Series wise, yes, man, this is my first win. That's actually going to stick.
Talk us through your emotions in the final laps of this one, as I know you had several family members that were all sorts of back and forth with the emotions too tonight.
Oh, yeah, man, I messed up early in the race and I lost it and got a little wobbly, took out a few cars. ended up having like 6.5 minutes of damage, and I got all the way down to 3.5 minutes that last time I pitted, and I figure what I got is what I got. I ain't nothing else I can do. On that restart though, I'd already messaged the 48 and told him, I said, you didn't leave me earlier. I'm gonna stick with you. If I have no chance to win, I'm pushing you to the win. I wasn't gonna leave him out hanging to dry, but God, I'm over here excited now. I ain't gonna go to bed.
So how do you build upon this momentum here tonight to continue forward and try and make it not just one cup win, but multiple?
Man, this is I bought a new setup about a little over a month ago, and my last 5 races here have been all top tens. So I'm just ecstatic to finally get a win, and God, I don't even know what to say, man.
Any shots you'd like to give here tonight?
I want to appreciate everybody that does come and watch me weekly, even when I screw up. They still come back and watch me any other day. I'm very thankful for them. I'm really glad y'all do this every week for us. I know it's a lot of work and it's probably sometimes a lot of a headache, but man, y'all still got a hell of a show for us. I gotta,
Yep, go ahead.
I gotta say, my bad. I gotta say thanks to Brandon and everybody in the league with us. I've been running with the 93. He ended up getting taken out earlier, but man, I'm still glad I can pull off a win for us.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Joshua Gelling gets himself a first win in the Slim Chickens Cup Series here tonight. And what was a whirlwind here this evening. A lot still having to be reviewed, of course, with everything happening here tonight. But Race Control did say that Landon Kelly ran out of gas on the final cool down of the night. He's with your Mike Cohen commentator to talk over his second place run.
Landon Kelly, I mean, you weren't in this race or on my bingo card, to say the least, for a long time. And for that, I apologize. You put up a heck of a drive tonight to keep your neck in it at the end. What was your strategy? Was it going for any of the stage points, or was it just going for the overall position when the checkered flag flew?
Well, first and foremost, my number one point in every single race is to have fun. Obviously, not running fully full time, I did want to go for the win. Secondly,
Right on. In the pursuit of having fun and in your pursuit of the win, what does it look like from Landon Kelly's cockpit? There's a lot of practice, training, working with others. What does it look like to get to second place up on the championship tonight?
it's to be honest with you, it's about a $200 rig that I run. Not much time outside of this is my main car that I run. I'm a house driver for Premier Racing Setups. You either get one or chase one. So mainly running the A car for them. $200, wheel, pre-used. Love it though.
Absolutely. It's whatever it takes to get you behind the wheel, into the cockpit, and into the group of individuals that you care about racing with every single week. And like you said, having fun. Landon Kelly, Absolutely. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
Shady Acres Broadcasting for this opportunity, and Rob's Custom Wraps, beautiful car that we've been running all season, and obviously Premier Racing Setups. You either get one or chase one. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Landon. I really appreciate it. Have a great night and stay safe.
You as well.
Landon Kelly coming away second, and Elijah Malpin coming away in third spot. Elijah, it was a definite whirlwind for you. Talk about your emotions over the course of this one tonight.
Oh man, I definitely wasn't expecting to be on the podium this race. I'm not a big fan of plate racing. I'll be completely honest here, especially here at Atlanta. It was definitely an up and down night for me, but oh man, I'm just super thankful right now for Meatball Ideal Motorsports, Zach King, for bringing me on for this race. This is only my second race here in the Slim Chickens Cup Series, and just I'm just amazed that I was able to. Again, I'm just amazed that I was able to keep it clean and try and finish in the top three. Just again, I'm just super thankful for Zach and his team.
Indeed, here with the way things went, how was it trying to plan out the game plan, if you will? Because you're actually the highest up of anybody who didn't get laps tonight on the racetrack, at least here. But how was it trying to get yourself in position to help out teammates, get yourself to the front, try and get a chance to contend there?
Well, the problem was I was on the back foot for most of the race. I had damage early on, and I was just trying to claw my way back up there to help the others. I don't feel like I was able to contribute as much as I wish I could have, but I mean, I'm just glad that I was there towards the end to give them a hand whenever possible. But I'm just, oh man. Again, I just can't thank them enough. I wasn't expecting this at all. I wish I was able to help them out more than I did, but I'm just super grateful, super happy about all this. I just wanted to give them a good result, and well, thankfully I was able to get them the result that they were hoping for, or a result that they were hoping for, rather.
So on that note, will we see you for Pocono next week?
I don't know. I'm not really don't really have a set schedule in this series, but I would like to race more races here, so we'll definitely see.
Any shout outs you'd like to give here tonight?
Well, I mean, again, I know I've done this multiple times already, but I just want to thank Zach King and Meatball Ideal Motorsports for bringing me on. I want to thank Ideal Pest Management for sponsoring the team. Really, all the sponsors for Meatball Ideal: K1 Speed, Gilbert, Advanced Work Fans, Jen Blossom's Design. I mean, they're the reason why the team's running. They're the reason why we get to do this, and I'm just super grateful that they've hopped on to help this team. This is a really great team. This is only my second race with them, but I've enjoyed it so much. And yeah, I can't thank all the guys and gals that have helped put this together.
Congratulations on the run tonight.
Thank you.
Melpin coming away with a solid effort here tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to speak with us from Soap News Victory Lane for tonight's coverage here on VSPEED. Final thoughts here tonight on this one, as it was definitely a wild night. Near 3.5 hours of action. What's your takeaways before we head to Pocono next week?
If this is what Mystic has to offer, sign me up every single week, Justin. This has been a phenomenal show, from green to checkered flag, from the fans in chat cheering on their favorite drivers, to just being able to be here and call the shots with you, Justin. It's been a pleasure, truly, to call it from green to checkered flag, brother.
Absolutely. It's time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage here for VSPEED for the Slim Chickens Cup Series here from EchoPark. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League here on VSPEED. For producer/co-announcer tonight, I'm Justin Brent, saying thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's coverage here from EchoPark. See you next time we go racing for the Pocono Mountains, Pocono Raceway next week for the Slim Chickens Cup Series here on VSPEED.